But yeah, dude, like I don't count out Brunson, right? But it's like I really want to see him shine because he's one of those guys. Like I want to see them make an example. I think Brunson gave us a good sample size in Dallas, and he's shown his importance, right?
Hmm.
Especially the next season, they got eliminated. They weren't even in the playoffs discussion. So clearly, Brunson was important as much as Dallas like to. I guess as much as Dallas didn't want to give him that value, but he's one of those guys I want to see like how he does in the playoffs. I think him, Shea Gilgis, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. But I think Minnesota's also suspect, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man, Minnesota is suspect, man, especially in crunch time. I don't really know about that for the T Wolves. They even showed it last night against the Clippers.
Yeah, and the Clippers is a team they should, bro. They're built good, but it's like those last 5 minutes, man. You like build doesn't even matter. Like how your team is constructed doesn't even matter. It matters about one guy who just takes over, man, and they've been suspect in that regard.
Yeah,
But
but
I
what
think it's also a growing period for them.
yeah, but what I could tell you about the Timberwolves is that they're kind of maneuvering while Anthony Edwards is still kind of learning the game on a high level. Like the
Well, that's because their
decisions he's
core is old,
making in
man.
crunch time is sometimes is suspect, man. It's very
Yeah,
very suspect.
but they built them such an old team, right? Because this team, I think, what Carl Anthony Towns is in the prime of his career, and his game is geared. We're like, I don't think it could be ageless. But Rudy Gobert is kind of at the prime of his career, and Conley is kind of like dwindling at this point. So it's a team. It's a made now. It's a win now team. Let's just see how they do it. I think they did a good approach to it, though.
Oh
I think
yeah,
a
for
guy like
sure.
Anthony Edwards, he's a superstar. I do not see a point in trying to keep gathering assets and make trades. It's kind of pointless at that point. I also feel the same way about the Spurs. I think the Spurs should probably look into maybe building Wembanyama a play-in team or a possible playoff team eventually. I feel like you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like once you find a generational star, right?
Hmm.
I'm not talking about like an all-star, but a generational superstar. At that point, you should probably look into like, all right, how can we get this guy into the playoffs?
Yeah, but right now, like I said, with the T Wolves, Edwards, you could see him. He's going through his progressions right
Yeah,
now,
Doug,
and
this is the
it's
first
not
real
gonna be
team he played
pretty.
for.
It's not gonna be
It is,
pretty, man. I'll be
it's
honest with
because
you.
like Edwards has been in the playoffs, right, his whole career. But the thing is, those playoffs didn't mean shit. All it was like, oh, nice, Minnesota, the team who plays hard, night
Exactly.
in and night out, made the 8 seed. Now it's about dog. All right, what are you made of? You
No,
know?
Edwards is made for the playoffs, but mentally, like what I'm saying, mentally in crunch time this season, I believe the T Wolves are
Yeah,
the worst team in crunch time to start off this year, 2024.
yeah.
So right now they're
When,
having a lot of issues. They had a blowout. They blew a lead against Chicago, that overtime game that they had. The Hornets game they
yeah,
blew a lead against the Spurs. They blew a lead, and then you seen it last night. You saw that pass that Edwards made in that fourth quarter led to like what, a fast break windmill dunk by Powell.
yeah.
So yeah, you see what's
It's a
going on with the
problem, man.
T Wolves. It's it's
Yeah.
it's like
So it's
it's
something.
like it's a weird dynamic because Towns was that guy, and now
Yeah.
Edwards is the guy
But
now.
that's my point, right? I think like as a team, Minnesota now has to realize they're not that cute little team anymore that people are just happy to see in the playoffs. This team is expected to actually do something. Like people have written them off, but I like we were talking about fraud. Like we were written them off in the past, but now people are expecting them to like possibly make a Western Conference.
They can, but at the same time, they're playing through Anthony Edwards, and he's playing through his progressions. He's still going through it.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
So I think he's gonna learn a lot in the playoffs.
We seen Jason Tatum in the past go through the same thing when he had the blunders
Yeah.
against Toronto. He had the blunders
Yep.
against Miami after making the finals. Yo,
Yep.
Edwards is going through the same thing right now, and it's
And
real
it's fine.
early.
I think it's a good thing for Minnesota. When you're a young guy, he's gonna progress, man. This is gonna be his first real playoff. Let's see how he does, man. He's gonna have a lot of hiccups, but it's gonna be a lot to learn. I think they put the right veterans around him, and I like a lot of their young guys. I like Nas Reed. I like Jaden McDaniels. It'll be interesting to see how far they do in the playoffs. Is Jaden right? Jaden McDaniels or Jalen McDaniels?
I think it's Jalen.
Is it Jalen? Because I know there's a Jalen in the NBA.
Nah, it's Jaden. It's Jaden. You're right. It's Jaden. So wait, hold on. Speaking because
Yeah.
you said they had time, right? So they technically
But their
don't.
salary,
Yeah, their salary in the new CBA, they really don't have time.
they don't have time.
They don't have time. So next year, I'm looking at their salary cap right now, right? The salary
Because
sheet.
they extended Conley to a handsome contract.
Yeah, but hold on. I'm looking at their salary sheet right now. Next
They
year,
have,
wait, hold on,
yeah.
hold on. Next year, without them even re-signing certain key guys, they're already at 175 million.
They signed
Yeah,
you have
that's
Nas
way
Reed.
too high. That's way too
Nas
high.
Reed got extended. Jaden McDaniels got extended. Rudy Gobert got a new contract, I think. I could be wrong. And Carl, I think Carl still has how many years in his contract?
Yeah, but right now, wait, hold on. Let me see how many players. One, two, three,
Because they're
four.
committed to a lot of contracts long term.
Okay, so right now they have 9 guys set up for next season, and they're
Yeah,
on the books for 175 million.
yeah.
That's a lot of money because
It's
the
not sustained. It's hard to build depth around these
yeah,
guys. Then.
like okay, so once they start getting deeper into that luxury tax, because I believe the number is 182. It's
Yeah,
182. So they're already at 175 with 9 players.
they're flirting with it.
Yeah, and then the following season it's even higher. They got
Yeah,
the same. They got 8 players for 186 million. This is an
because
expensive team.
they have Jaden McDaniels, Carl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Nas Reed, Anthony Edwards, and Mike Conley. Who else am I forgetting? I can only
Uh,
name those seven, I believe.
yeah, Jaden
Who's the other two?
McDaniels. Let me see.
Kyle's off the book soon, right?
No, hold on. They got Gobert, Towns, Edwards, McDaniels, Wendell Moore, and Leonard Miller. That's it. That's
I never heard of those two.
$186 million for 2025. But for
Yeah,
2024, next season, it's the same players minus one guy, and it's 176 million. So
right.
that McDaniels contract, when it kicks in, the T-Wolves become expensive already.
Yeah, they're
So
gonna have to make trades, man. I don't know. They'll either have to. They're gonna keep maybe Carl Anthony Towns later down on the line, depending on where the Minnesota goes.
yo, but you know
They're
what?
gonna trade one of their older two players, and
Now
they're
you know
not
what it
gonna
is
trade away Nas or
for
Jaden.
them to really fix this right now. I would say Towns got to take more responsibility. You got to take more responsibility, man, because he can't just play the background guy to Edwards. He really
No,
can't.
he needs to be the second punch guy.
Yo, he needs to be almost at the same level as Edwards, just as
Yeah,
aggressive
that's what I'm saying. It
and
needs to be a
take
1A, one
responsibility.
B. It needs to be a 1A, 1B kind of thing.
Yeah, because yo, I'm
Because
telling you,
Rudy Gobert is not.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you, Edwards after yesterday, Edwards showed, man, like he's not ready yet. He's not ready to in crunch time in the playoffs to be that guy to not turn over the ball in crucial moments. He ain't ready for that.
I mean, dog, with the amount of years Carl Anthony Towns has played, right? What real playoff experience does Carl Anthony Towns have?
And that's the problem with this team.
Yeah, like
It,
not, outside of Gobert and Conley, right? There's not much experience within the core.
yeah, you know what? You saying that? No, Mike Conley is probably the balance.
Yeah, Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert have like the most experience in the because they made the second round and Conley made the Western Conference, so he's really that only guy who's seen real success.
Yeah, it's a weird roster that they got, but they're
Yeah,
gonna have to make it work, man, because it's gonna get expensive. And you know, once you pass the second apron in the salary cap, you can't pick up certain guys anymore. It's hard to make 2-for-1
yeah.
trades. Shit starts
They'll
getting
have to do
complicated.
minimum like players out of the door, those kind of ordeals.
Yeah, yeah. So the T-Wolves I'm looking at right here, they blew a 10-point lead against the Hornets when Towns dropped 62 points. Against the
Yeah,
Spurs,
that was
they
the one
blew
where
the lead.
Chris Finch was pissed, where he's like,
Yeah.
"We're just
Yo,
yeah." I remember that.
what is up with Towns in that game? What happened?
Bro, Towns loves numbers, dog.
Yeah, because he did look like he was stat padding, but I couldn't tell because
Yeah,
the Hornets defense was non-existent. It was
this
hard
is
to
before
tell.
them in the trades. Yeah,
It was hard to tell. But
bro, but we love stats, man. You saw it in the All Star game.
mhm.
Like Carl Anthony Towns was the only one in the West that played actual basketball, or at least tried to play basketball, where
Yeah.
everyone was sleepwalking.
Yeah, but low-key, Edwards this season, he had some good matchups against Tatum. The overtime
Bro,
games with
Edwards,
Boston.
Edwards is a superstar, man. But like I said, let's see how it goes, because like now Minnesota is a team that the expectations are of a playoff experience team, but they have none.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So like
I like I said, Edwards as he goes through his progressions is going to be tough. But right now in crunch time, the only teams that got more turnovers than the Timberwolves is the Pelicans, Grizzlies, Spurs, and Blazers. That's
But
it.
I also feel the same way about like Oklahoma City Thunder and the Sacramento Kings, even the New Orleans Pelicans. To be honest with you,
Wow, you said the Sacramento Kings. Wait, you think the Kings are in the same boat as far as the
100%.
turnovers?
No, not on the turnovers. Just teams that I don't really believe in the playoffs because they don't have experience.
So let me ask you a question: if the Kings go up against the Warriors one more time in the playoffs, who do you have?
I got the. I'll say the Kings, but I think they're gonna win it by the skin of their balls, man. Like I can't say they're gonna like win it confidently.
Hmm. Remember, the Warriors have
Because
no Andrew Wiggins, no
the
Andrew
Kings can't
Wiggins,
close. The Kings can't close for shit.
but no Andrew Wiggins. You still take the Kings?
Yeah, I might have to take the Kings, but like I said, even if they face the weak Warriors, right? How far can the Kings make it? Because I don't even think Sabonis and Durant Fox have real playoff experience. Like
Hmm.
Sabonis never made it out the first round in his career, and
Yep.
Durant never played in the playoffs until last.
Wait, you're breaking up. What'd you say? Yeah, you're breaking
Hold
up.
on, give me a second. Let me reach home. Same with Malik Monk. Same with Malik Monk. He doesn't have real playoff experience either.
Okay, but it's funny because you said the Kings will escape with the skin of their teeth against the Warriors. I believe the Kings, if they get the right matchup, especially against the Suns, I think they could eliminate the Suns. That low key been a rival this year. The Kings and Suns. They had some excellent
You think
games.
so,
Yeah. I've been peeping the games.
bro? Like
I've been peeping the games.
I'm not.
They've been
The
battling.
Kings, the Kings on offense is great, but the most suspect is like they str- they're struggling to close out games,
They
which
are,
could
but
be a reoccurring problem for them.
the Suns give the Suns actually, I mean the Kings actually give the Suns a tough matchup, man. There's something about the Kings that the
Yeah,
Suns just can't stop at times.
yeah.
It's all about the matchups. But like
But
you
do you
said,
believe in a Sabonis?
but hold on.
But with how
but like you said before, they could possibly not beat the Warriors, but they can end up beating the fucking Suns, man. I believe that. That's how up and down they are. But it's all about the
Wait,
matchups.
let me reach my room. Yeah, 100%, bro. I think, dude, it's all about matchups. Like I'm not. I'm some center.
Wait, hold on. You're still breaking up. You might have to link that phone on that Wi-Fi.
Now,
Nah, you still sound like you broken
hello.
up.
What about now?
Yeah. Now you sound much better. Much better.
So I'm saying I don't know if Sabonis. I don't know how Sabonis and center works out. Sure, they bring much more spark of an offense because when Sabonis catches a rebound, right, it's a fast break. But my thing is, let's say how they protect the rim and everything, because you're gonna have to match up against Jokic, and we have yet to see. And I just don't know who's gonna stop Jokic on that team.
Oh yeah. I mean, nobody in the West is gonna stop Jokic,
Nobody
man.
can, but you kind of have to muscle him a little bit, right? I just don't know if they will be able to muscle him.
Yeah. But what do you think about Jokic? Because wasn't he in December the points leader, rebound leader, and assist leader in the
Yeah,
league?
man, that dude's a fucking monster, man.
Yo, but let me ask you a question. Do you think the NBA has issues promoting the international star to like the American
So I just
audience?
don't think these guys don't want to be marketable, bro. And I think a lot of these media pundits don't do a good job. Like you see Gilbert Arenas, right? He's like, yo, these Euros are soft. He said the NBA should give her Euros for real defense. So these kind of comments are gonna further prove. I think like the trope already for the Euros is they're soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
You heard it growing up, I heard it growing up. So I think it's still going on, right? But if the NBA could market the EuroLeague well or the European players well, you're gonna see a lot of narratives change. But it just depends on the NBA markets. In the end, I think the NBA is still stuck on this old-fashioned marketing thing, man.
Yeah, I think so. I think so from the '90s era because it's their most successful formula. But I also
Yeah,
believe,
like,
the American audience is not used to being promoted like an international star. It's not like EPL
No,
or the Spanish league out in Spain. They're used to like having the international Brazilian players, players from Portugal like Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi.
yeah,
They're used to having international players as stars, but the American audience, they're not used to that.
no,
Americans are not used to that. We have NFL, NBA. There's no international stars like that.
no,
We're just it's a brand new marketing that the NBA is gonna have to attack, man. They're gonna have to figure that out because the players right now that are dominating are not American.
no.
They are not
Luca,
American, boy.
look at Luca. You look at Jokic, Giannis, but Giannis was able to market himself because he's much more charismatic. I think a lot of it comes into charisma too for these guys.
Yeah, but just me being American, because I seen like, especially when I hear Gilbert Arenas talk, there's like a thing that we have, man, in this country. They're not gonna really rock too much with the
No,
international players. Even the American players, when they talk about Luca, if you look at a lot of the American players, there's like a lot of little side eye, man, because it's just like they're not used to that. They're not used to that.
no,
That's the reason why you see all the players all of a sudden they want to play for Team USA because they're not rocking with the internationals better than us. They're not rocking with that. Trust me
no.
when I say that. They are not rocking with that. And it's the same thing for the NBA audience, the viewers at home, the fans. It's the same way. But if you watch any of these NBA games, you see a ton of signs now. Oh, I
For
trap.
sure, dude. I mean,
Wait,
dude, it's
hold on.
like these
Let me
outside.
land. Wait,
Okay,
hold on. Let me land.
yeah.
Let me land. I want to say that now when you watch these games, you see these fans say, "Hey, I've traveled 10,000 miles to come see SGA. I've traveled from here. I've traveled from there." The American audience is not really like that, man. They're not like that at all. It's just
Not at
internationally,
all.
man. They're used to being marketed people from other countries.
Dog, is a lot of it comes into like the outsiders are coming in and taking over.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that
You don't
necessarily.
think so?
I think the game is just getting more global, but at the same time, I feel like the younger generations of Americans here are gonna now get used to like, okay, I like SGA, he's from Canada. I like Luca, but like I feel like the older NBA fans, they're not used to that because if you
No.
if you if you look at Sabonis's dad when he got drafted, the videos online. There was an old lady at the NBA draft. He got drafted last from Russia, right? I believe, or
Yeah.
wherever they're from, some Eastern
He
European.
got drafted first overall pick.
Yeah, he got drafted almost at the end, I believe. So
Nah, Arvidas got drafted first. Let me check.
yeah, well, wherever he got drafted, right? When he got selected, there was an old American woman, right? Her
Yeah.
face was so disgusted that a European, just an
You're
international
right.
player, just the
24th pick.
idea of an
Yep.
international player getting drafted, and that sentiment is still there today. You see it
I
with the
mean, Doug,
players, and you see it with some of the fans, man.
remember
They're
Porzingis?
skeptical with that shit.
Porzingis?
Yeah, the Porzingis reaction. That's the same
Yep.
type of reaction.
Porzingis. By the way, you're right. First round, 24th pick.
Yeah.
But
When they
yeah.
said his name, oh
Uh,
my God, that woman, I'm surprised they haven't made a meme out of her face. She was so
yeah.
disgusted that they
I
selected
mean,
an
Doug, look at
international
Luca.
player. Like it was a waste of a
Uh,
pick.
you you look at the Luca draft, right? A guy who should have been probably the guy who should have been
Wait, hello? I think you broke up.
third, fourth, or fifth
Hmm.
over Aiden and Jaren Jackson Jr. and Trey. I think got traded for Trey Young.
Hmm.
That stigma's there, 100%, bro. Um, I don't know. It's very hard, man, because you're also seeing kind of the rise of Victor Wembanyama, where he's getting drafted first overall pick.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
And speaking of Victor,
I think,
man.
and Alexander Sarr coming in soon.
Yeah, and then you see what's his name? Shingun is doing out in Houston. It's
Yep,
crazy. It's crazy. But the competition is gonna get more fierce.
yep.
The talent pool is more global now, but the competition is definitely gonna get more fierce. But speaking of Victor, man, have you seen his fucking game log for the month? Just in the past few weeks, I'm just gonna say.
Bro, you sent it
I'm
to
just
me.
gonna read it out loud. I'm gonna read it out loud. Just in the past few
Uh-huh.
games. 27
I'll find
points,
it.
14 rebounds, 10 blocks, 2 steals. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. 19 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks, 5 steals. 27 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks, 5 steals. 22 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks, 1 steal. I mean, Jesus Christ, 28 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks, 2 steals. This guy is insane, man. 31 points, 12 rebounds, 6 blocks, 1 steal. Like,
Bro, this guy,
what the
this
fuck
is
is
a
that?
generational superstar, bro.
Yo,
Look,
look.
this is the kind of player that takes over after LeBron. This is your guy at post
Oh,
LeBron
yeah,
world.
for sure. Look at the blocks in
Yeah.
February, right? Victor has 47. The whole Chicago Bulls team has 47. The Knicks have 47.
Knicks,
The Hornets got
Hornets,
45.
Kings.
Yo,
Yep.
Victor got more rebounds than most of these teams combined. Like, this is
Dog,
crazy.
this is a generational star, which you can hope to land, man. Like, any team would die for this generational star. San Antonio has hit another gold mine from the David Robinson to Tim Duncan to now Victor Wembanyama. This dude, I don't know what else to say, man. He's a machine. He's a beast. I can barely even call him a human.
Yo, I'm so happy that the NBA protected him by sending him to San Antonio. At least they guaranteed him
Well,
some sort of success. Because they
yeah,
could have gave him to the Hornets or some shit.
yeah, man. The Hornets or Portland,
Yep. That would
that
have
would
been
have
a
been.
disaster.
But credit to the Hornets, man. They're figuring it out. I think they
Uh,
done a good job in building around Brennan this past trade deadline.
I don't know if that. I got to see the execution. But Brandon Miller does look good though.
Yeah, he looks great, and I think even the talent around him, they look like competent players. I think the Mimich, I believe, the
Hmm.
backup point guard,
Yeah. There's
he's been
another guy on
solid.
there.
Trey Man, he's been solid. They have some guys I can get behind.
Yeah, Trey
It's
Man.
just we got to see how. Mhm.
With Trey Man, I'm curious to see how he ends the season. It's gonna be interesting with that team.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting.
they
But
created flexibility, a lot of flexibility for the future.
yeah, for sure. But Wemby is just, he's
Dog,
just going
he's
crazy.
bro. Even this rookie class, man, like as talented as his rookie class is, he's dominated the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
this rookie class is one of my favorite rookie classes in a long time, bro. You have a lot of talent. You know, we talk about Brendan Miller just now. We talk about if the Thompson brothers. You talk about Jaime Jaquez. You talk about Keontae George off of Utah. A lot of great talent has come out of this draft class, man. Derek Lively the third. Great talent has come out this draft class, and the fact that this dude just dominates the discussion is so incredible to me.
Yeah. Now, with a lot of the younger players nowadays, right? Um,
Yeah.
I've been hearing that agents now are starting to focus on like where the players land, not necessarily where they go in the draft. But I feel like there's a shift going on slowly because the talent pool is getting bigger and bigger. I feel like
Mhm.
agents now are trying to aim players off of certain teams where they know, okay, they're not going to really develop a player in his position. They're trying to
Yeah.
land their guys where they can actually get utilized. And
Well, have you seen how teams are getting bold too now? Like, you remember back in the day when a player isn't panning out, they'll trade him for like a second round pick or cash considerations. Now, like the pool is so big, right? They're like, all right, fuck it, we'll waive them.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
seeing that now. It's a
yeah, we're seeing that a lot now. But hold on,
yeah, Killian Hayes.
I want to play a sound by Steve Clifford talking about young players
Yeah,
coming in and just them not playing defense, man. We'll take a listen real quick.
I mean, the NBA is full of all these guys that they play because we drafted them 6th, 7th, 8th, right? And we don't want to say, geez, we might have made a mistake. And then by the time they're 23, they're gone, and 2 more coaches got fired. That's just reality.
Yeah, Steve Clifford was going off the other day about his players not playing fucking defense. The young guys coming
yeah.
in with the AAU type of mentality.
I
It's
mean,
just
doggy's right. You look at their draft, right? I would like to say 2021. Let me fact check for a minute.
yeah, because right now there's been while you're searching, right now there's been like a shift because, like you said, there's a lot of talented guys coming in, but there's also
Yeah,
talented guys that are coming in that look talented maybe in a workout or through highlights, but their game is not translating. We're seeing it play
I
out with
mean, for
Jalen Green
example,
out in Houston. You're seeing it
yeah,
playing out with Scoot Henderson. A lot of the guys
yeah.
coming out of
I mean, look,
Ignite.
you James Borknight from the Charlotte Hornets in the 2021 draft, Kai Jones. These guys got waived. They're jobless now.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
you're seeing this. You're seeing like teams be more aggressive. They're like, all right, dog, we're just gonna cut our losses. And I think he's right, dog. Everything falls on the coaching, right? Like if James Burknight, if he sucks, everyone's gonna be like, yo, Clifford can't develop. But at the same time, you got to look at these personnel. Do they fit on this team? And some of these guys don't, and some of these guys don't take their game to another level, bro. And these guys, you're a superstar in high school, you're a superstar even in college, right? But
Mhm.
once you land the NBA, you have to find a role, or you're out of here.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Not everyone is a LeBron James, bro.
Not everyone. Yep, you're right. Not everyone is a
Yeah.
LeBron James. But like you
Not
said,
everyone's gonna be the generational star. Yeah.
yeah, like you said, the talent pool is just real high. But like Steve
Yeah.
Clifford was saying, guys don't really pan out. But franchises, like you were saying before, now they dropping guys real quick. But before they
Yeah.
would hold on to the same guy, and like Steve
You
Clifford was
look at
saying,
Detroit.
they would fire the coaches over that, and then
Yeah.
the team will still end up dropping the players. But now you're saying
And
that they're moving on quicker.
yeah, I mean, you saw that with the Hornets before Steve Clifford came in. They fired their coach over development, and none of these guys amount to anything. So he's right in that regard. I mean, do you look at the Detroit Pistons? They're holding on to James Wiseman. They're holding on to obviously they just dropped Killian Hayes. They were holding on to these guys and giving them starting roles, and for what? Just like the thought of, oh, we drafted them 7th overall or 5th overall, we have to give them minutes. No, dude, just cut your losses.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a harsh reality. I mean, dog, we're all fallible people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to cut your losses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at Kelly Oubre Jr. He's averaging 20 points a game and he's on a minimum.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the only one in the league that almost average around 20 and he's on a minimum. I mean, it's just telling you like something is not translating with some of these guys, and then at the same time, they're not
Boy, it got to be
they're not
reputation, man.
gonna invest a lot of time into you nowadays.
It has a lot to do with. I mean, dog, you remember? He's a lot older now. Jeff Green used to take minimum contracts when he was like the 5th or 6th producing player on the team,
Yeah.
and that's why, like, unfortunately for him, he has to play late in his 30s because he never got that, well-deserved contract, which he deserved a long time, like after his Cleveland run.
Yeah, what you're trying to say? He's looking for that Haslam type of deal.
Oh yeah, that's what he's doing, bro. Him, Ish Smith.
Yeah, I didn't even know Ish Smith was still in the league. That shit is crazy.
Me neither, bro. I thought he retired after the Denver Nuggets run, bro. But another we talk about like eye for talent, man. Utah, this Keontae George guy is special, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he'll pan out to, bro, but he's an NBA player. Check out the link in the comment in the description below, and you'll see all my articles on the Utah Jazz. I'm doing like player breakdowns, right? So far I've done Franz Wagner, SGA, and now I did Keontae George not that long ago, because obviously the rookie class is so stacked, and there's so much talent coming in, right? So it gets hard to consume rookies, man. There's no doubt about it. So I'm like, you know what? This is the guy that I would enjoy writing about, and I think people will learn a lot about him too.
Yeah, you know what's so funny? You saying it's hard to consume the rookies. It was the
Yeah.
worst during the 2020 pandemic. What
Oh,
I like
100%,
to
dude.
call it the Zoom draft.
Yeah.
That was the worst, man. Like I don't know how teams even evaluated guys.
Dog, it was tough. But a lot of these guys, man, I think that's why Wiseman benefited. Was the Wiseman draft, right? Or that's 2022?
Yeah, that's Wiseman, Kuminga. I think Edwards was in that.
Yeah. I think that's why Wiseman benefited. There's a lot of that draft, right? A lot of great talent came in that draft, but you can tell. I think a lot of these GMs would probably change their stances or change their draft pick if they could, looking back on it, because some of these guys are drafted way too high that should have been a lot lower. I'm not saying they're
for
suck, but they should have been like the Orlando Magic with Okawang. I never know how to pronounce his name. I just call him Big O. You know the center I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know the center you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's
Him,
the names
he
keep
probably
going.
should have been drafted a lot lower.
What's his name from Chicago? Patrick Williams.
Patrick Williams, Isaac Okoro, Killian Hayes.
He's kind of working out right
Even Obi
now.
Toppin.
He's kind of working out a little bit. Isaac Okoro, he's
Oh,
coming.
he's
He's
a
coming
great
into
two-way
now.
player.
Yeah.
But dog, you look at names like Halliburton, you look at names, Maxi, you look at who else? Maxi and Okoro, Maxi and obviously Tyrese Halliburton. You're kind of just like fuck, I bet a lot of franchises are like fuck. We could have drafted this guy.
Yeah, but again, the way you could tell from the way ESPN had covered the draft, they kept talking about everyone's personal lives, like their families. There
Yeah,
was
they didn't know
nothing
how to
really
break
about
down
their
these
skill
players.
set. They
No,
never really talked about anyone's skill set because I don't think personally they knew anything about anyone.
everyone was just second. Everyone was just trying to guess.
Yeah, you're right. Obi Toppin, Killian Hayes, Jalen
Like these guys,
Smith.
but I feel like Obi Toppin was a safe pick. I think a lot of these guys took the safe pick. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Oh, you know what? Nah, the better picks were like later. Precious Achua,
yeah,
Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quickly.
Cole Anthony.
Yeah, a lot of the
So I feel like
picks
the
were later
early,
on.
like you can call me out, but I feel like early on, I feel like a lot of these picks were safe.
You think so? Yeah, but what's safe
Jaden
though?
McDaniel,
What do they consider? I mean, what do they consider safe? Like the athleticism and hype?
athleticism and height. Just guys who can do the role. Like Big O, I feel like he's a safe pick.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. For the Hawks,
Yeah.
yeah.
From the Hawks, he's a safe pick.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Smith, he's a good player, but I feel like he knows his role in the team. You're not gonna much develop him anyways. Patrick Williams is kind of an experimental pick from what I remember because they were talking about him like he was the next Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah. Patrick Williams, he was an experimental pick. He was super young. And he was super skinny.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
was
damn, that's like a
18, 19.
project.
Yeah, that was a project pick, but the Chicago Bulls took like a 180 in their direction. It made no sense looking back on it.
Yeah, it made no sense because they had Lonzo, they had they had DeRozan. It didn't make
You're
any
better
sense
off
why
just
they picked a
drafting Big
project
O.
like that.
Yeah, you're better off drafting Big O.
Yeah.
I need to pronounce his name better for next time he goes to space.
Nah,
Fuck.
it's all good, man. There's a lot of names nowadays. It's complicated.
I
As
hope
hell.
like nobody confuses him for like Oscar Robertson or some shit.
No. And speaking of Lonzo, did you hear about what happened with the way Chicago
Billy
just
Donovan?
yeah, they seem like they're still up in the air about like the whole status of what's going on.
I
with the
feel bad for
Bulls.
him, man. Like you can tell Billy Donovan's getting information from the Billy Donovan has no reason to lie. So I actually do believe Billy Donovan's word when it comes to his health, man. I think we're not really even getting real information about Lonzo. Last time I heard about him, he was starting to jog or run. Remember the Stephen A. Smith clip that came out? Where Stephen A. Smith was like, "Yo, I'm hearing from good sources that Lonzo came and walk." Where Lonzo Lonzo came and walk or some shit, and Lonzo made that response to Stephen A.
Yeah, he didn't really know what the fuck he was talking about.
But I think that where there's smoke, there's fire, bro.
Yeah, there's a little bit fire because I'm gonna play the soundbite real quick from Billy Donovan talking about it. He sounded like he was real confused of where Lonzo is at, man. I mean, we're into like 2 years later. The last time he played was 2021, 35 games for the Bulls. Yeah, I'm gonna play the soundbite here real quick. Let's take a listen to what the coach of the Bulls had to say.
I don't know if he's stuck. He is doing some shooting, some running, some jumping. He hasn't done any sprinting yet, that I know. They talked about that, and sprinting was kind of a goal, a set point. I do think the one thing that has been a priority right now so he does not get set back is he needs to develop more strength in his leg. Because of him having that surgery and being off his leg so long, before he's really able to ramp up, I think they want him to get to a place physically that relates to his quad strength, hamstring strength, before he starts to really do that. I don't want to say it's a holdup, but that's where they want to get him to. In terms of what he's doing, he feels better.
Yeah, it sounds like the coach don't know what the fuck he's talking about, man. I mean, it sounds like the coach has no idea where he's at.
Yeah, did you also see the video I just sent you of Lonzo dunking? Dunking.
That was his response. That was his
Yeah, that's
response.
interesting, man. I mean, we're getting two contradiction answers, right? And that's also scary to think about
No, I
because
don't think so. I think the coach is right because Lonzo is just he was just running by himself. It's not like he
yeah,
was clear to actually, kind of do a light little run in with the guys because technically he was supposed to already be on that path.
yeah.
He was supposed to be. I think in the beginning of February they said he was supposed to be sprinting, but now we're in March, and then the coach is like, "Oh, I'm not sure." You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Lonzo answers back by sending that video. It's weird, man. It's been 2 years. It's been
It seems
2
like,
fucking
dog.
years.
It seems like there's something going. There's not much of a communication within the Chicago organization and Lonzo.
Yeah, I mean, let me
'Cause it's
let me see.
contradiction, dog. The video is contradicting what Billy Donovan's saying.
Yeah.
So that's also scary, bro. Because like, if the medical staff, if the medical staff is right, then
Mhm.
then we're not getting a long career of Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, but Lonzo Ball has a player option this summer,
No,
which
I'm talking about in general.
no, I know. I'm just looking at his
Yeah.
contract. Like he has a player option, so it's not like he's leaving the team. I'm pretty sure he's gonna opt right back in.
Yeah, but I think I don't know, bro. It's scary to think about, man. It seems like it's a career that's about to go down the drain. It feels like that whole draft. It's like full of careers that went down the drain. Mikel Fultz and obviously Alonzo Ball.
Yeah, but with the injuries, you never really know, because
And this guy has
he
an
could end up
history.
becoming like what's his name, Grant Hill, a guy that was out for
Yeah,
years and then he came back.
yeah, that is true. I mean, dude, credit to Markel also, man. He's been able to build a role player career now.
Yeah, but again, Lonzo, they kept on saying that he was supposed to be ready in January sprinting, and February passed by, nothing. And then this is what we get, a social media post.
Yeah, bro. Let's say hypothetical, right? Lonzo Ball comes back tomorrow. Do you still have Kobe White as your point guard, like as your starting point guard?
I would say yes because there's no way he's playing all those minutes. He's not playing 35 minutes plus or even 30.
And you think there's gonna be an ego problem within like Lonzo Ball?
Probably with Kobe White because he's been playing a lot better. So
Yeah, and I think
um
Kobe White is the most improved candidate. He's made big number jumps and everything.
yeah, and
So
they
I don't know.
and they got him on a
It's gonna
great
be hard for the
contract too.
Chicago Bulls. Yeah, oh, amazing contract. It's gonna be hard for the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls have that to look at. Is like, dog, what is our future? If they can't trade Lonzo, so I feel like they're stuck in that regard.
Yeah, I mean they might as well see what he has. I mean, they could
Yeah,
sacrifice him like the Warriors did Kevin Durant, but I don't think that's gonna happen like that.
no, you have to just like, I don't know, this season. I mean, you're saying next year's a player option, or this next season's a player option, right?
Yeah, for 2024-25. Yep, he has a player option.
He's cashing in, dog.
Yeah, he has to. Who the hell is gonna pay
Yeah.
him 21
Nobody's
mil?
paying him.
Yeah,
So
no
for
one's
him, he
doing
has
that.
to look at dog. He needs to increase his value up because Chicago's not paying. I don't see Chicago paying him.
Nah, me
So
neither.
for him, it's like, dog, I gotta increase my value.
Yeah, and speaking of Instagram posts, you seen Klay Thompson?
The
You
New
see,
York Knicks.
yeah, like nah, just the I love this city, like the Instagram caption.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's funny, man. That is funny. But remember, I told you the last time we spoke, I told you if you look at the new CBA rules with those rumors about the Warriors trying to trade for LeBron James, it was really
yeah,
Klay that they was gonna ship out.
yeah.
I'm surprised the media don't highlight that more, because Klay's money was the only one that could match with LeBron. Like, that's crazy. But hey, I don't know if Klay is gonna end with that team. To be honest with you.
No, I think Clay is done. I think Clay is gone. I think the Lakers because Mikel Thompson played there, or Michael Thompson, my bad.
Hmm.
Or you could go New York because New York has become that. New York is fashionable, bro.
It's really always been. The only thing is that what players are built for that pressure. You know what I mean? Like
I'm
Klay,
talking. No, I'm not talking about New York's fashionable because they're much more. They're a better team now.
oh yeah, they're a better team. True. But they also have
Yeah.
a culture. But there's a lot of pressure that also comes with playing there.
Mm-hmm. But Klay knows pressure, dog.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's been in big
Yeah.
pressurized moments.
You're right. Like, come on. 2016 Western Conference Finals,
Exactly. I was just about to bring that
2015
up.
championship. Like, he knows, bro. He's made for New York.
Hmm.
But, New York, it depends on how much New York's willing to pay him, which I think they're not paying him anything crazy.
Yeah, but once again, the Andrew Wiggins situation is what really kind of brought the Klay Thompson issues to the forefront. Because had
Let me,
Andrew Wiggins just been his normal self, they could
yeah,
hide Klay Thompson a lot better, but now they can't. So it
they did that
exposes.
in 2022.
They did that a little bit, but Klay wasn't this bad. But Wiggins was the second best player on the Warriors for sure.
So,
But
Wiggins has how many,
what do you think is going on with Wiggins? Like it's another family
bro?
issue.
It gotta be. I don't really like. I don't like to speak above my pay grade, but it seems like, bro, it got to be like family issues, like maybe baby mother issues or a family member dying. You never
Yeah.
know, man.
I mean,
And
whatever
also,
it
his contract is hard to move too, man.
yeah, it's hard to move too, but whatever it is, right? The Warriors paid
Yeah,
him a pretty penny. We
and
all
they're
know the
paying him all
Warriors.
the way to 27,
Yeah, the
or
Warriors love to
option comes to
capitalize
27. Yeah,
off of what they do. They really
yeah.
like going all in. Like I don't think they're feeling this whole. They don't want to derail like the special thing that they have for Andrew Wiggins, man. Yeah, he's
I could
locked
see them
in.
trying to move Wiggins,
Wow, Andrew
but
Wiggins is locked in until
dog,
2027.
27.
God
Yep,
damn.
that's what I'm saying. By then we'll have families, bro. So this is a long ass time we're talking about, bro.
They might as well, because Kaminga's coming up. They might as well see if they could ship
Kaminga,
him out for
man.
Jordan Poole.
So nice. Kaminga, and then you're gonna have Pods. Pods is gonna get a contract.
Yeah, but the Warriors should see if they could ship out Wiggins for Poole. Those contracts match up.
Yeah, yeah. Dog, you have to. They might even have to. They might even have to give up a first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Like you might have to attach assets. Nobody's touching that contract without assets.
Yeah. But Jordan Poole,
They,
man.
they
Nah, you're right. Nobody's attaching those first round picks without assets. You're right.
nobody's touching Wiggins without assets.
Yeah. Wiggins with
Yeah.
no assets is crazy. But then again,
No,
Wiggins for Jordan. Yeah, even Wiggins for Jordan Poole. Who's more desperate? The Wizards to get rid of Jordan Poole or the Warriors to get rid of Wiggins?
bruh, the Warriors. Man, you think the Wizards give a shit about winning?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. This
Like,
is
dog, if the Wizards are actually a good franchise, bro, like, shit, man. The Wizards are something, bro.
yeah. The Wizards.
I mean,
I believe
I don't
Jordan.
understand the Wizards.
Yeah, meaning I don't understand what they're doing. They're trying to move to Virginia, and Jordan Poole. I think they benched him. I didn't even get what's the point of even benching him. He's helping you tank.
Hold on. Virginia. Bro, isn't Washington the better location? You're not that far from Maryland. You're in Washington, then Virginia's not that far either. I go Virginia.
Because Virginia probably got a better fan base for basketball. To be honest with you,
Really?
I don't think Washington. Washington is weird, man. It's almost like it's not big enough. It's like it's really an area. It's not really big enough to like support like a team. Because I've been to a Wizards game and they don't have a
Yeah.
fan base. They never did from the John Wall days, etc. They never really had a fan base.
Yeah, I mean, dog, I think, what about Maryland? Like, I'd assume Maryland's also an option for them.
Yeah, they're right next to all that. Baltimore,
Yeah.
the whole DMV area.
Yeah,
DMV area.
that's what I'm finding interesting.
So yeah,
But, dog, they've never been a stable franchise to earn a fan base, to be honest with you.
yeah, but I don't know, man. It looks like they got a better play somewhere else, and I wouldn't be mad if they moved. I wouldn't be mad if
Like-
they moved.
Washington's bright spot is that Israeli guy. He might be the bright side of the Wizards. The Israeli fella. I can't pronounce his name right. You know I'm Denny.
Oh, he's the new owner.
No, he's a small forward, Denny.
Oh,
The Israeli
yeah,
player?
okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That team.
He's the bright side of that organization.
Yeah, that team is so irrelevant, man. I'm just like, yo, I
Yeah.
ain't even paying attention. But yo, Jordan Poole averages 16 points a game, man. Like, this is crazy.
Bro, he was one of those guys I expected to be most improved. But dude, I'm kind of tired of NBA fans and kind of kind of making role players into all-stars, man. Like not
Yeah,
everyone needs to be an all-star. Like
exactly. And you know what it is? This
mhm.
Jordan Poole situation proves that the Warriors have built a nice system and had nice development within their team. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean, because when people say, "Oh, the Warriors with KD had a super team," I'm like, nah, man. They those guys perform like that on that team. Steph is really the only one that could leave the Warriors and still somewhat perform the same. Everybody else was
dude,
not really going to be performing like that.
Draymond and Klay cannot lead your team to like a finals, bro.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
bro, they like 2015, they had guys who like disappeared from the league after Festus Ezeli never found his footing again.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Bogut kind of like rode his way team to team. Leandro retired. Sean obviously rode out with the Wizards. I mean, well, not Wizards, fuck the Warriors.
They took on, what's the skinny guy? The light skin. He also
Patrick
like,
McCaw,
Sean Livingston.
Sean
They,
Livingston.
they
Yep.
they took him
Dude.
on, and then what's
Yeah.
his name? The other guy, Harrison Barnes. Man, the Warriors drafted well. They drafted and
They
developed really
drafted
well.
extremely well. Bro,
Yeah.
even like these guys, even Festus Ezeli, if he didn't break his leg, he would have had an okay NBA career.
Mm-hmm.
Like they drafted well with like the role players and the star. You look at 2015, a lot of role players they drafted. Harrison Barnes, Festus Ezeli, Klay Thompson, obviously, Draymond, Steph. A lot of these guys they drafted.
Yeah, Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole is one of those guys. They build up from the D League. But dog, like once again, we're talking about like people's expectations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, a guy from the G League playing fourth or fifth option in the NBA, it's a win. Like, why do we need to make him into an all-star discussion and all that shit, bro? All-star discussion is top like 15 players. Very rarely gonna see like a not Luca, my bad, Nikola Jokic pop off and become an all-star.
Oh
That's
yeah, that's
extremely
rare.
rare. 1 in a million chance. Do I think guys like Austin Reeves, Alex Caruso, Jordan Poole to be all-stars? Hell no. But dog, they can make a good career. And
They
they
can make
can
a
be
good career,
multiple
but
times
you know what
championship.
it is? The league.
Yeah.
I think the standards with the fans and the perception with a lot of the league has not adjusted to the amount of scoring and the uptake in the scoring. So a guy who
Mm-hmm.
averages 18, 20 a game, he might not really be like at least a mid-level kind of star. He's kind of still a little bit below that because now the superstars are averaging almost 30. So you got to
Yeah.
kind of increase it a little more. So now you got to average 23 plus to be considered like those like next level stars.
Yeah.
And that's where the Jordan Poole falls. You know, those guys who almost average 20 for a season, in reality, if they average like 23, then they could take that next level up. But right now, everyone's still stuck. If you score about 20
Yeah.
points a game, they label you like the Kyle Kuzma type of star when you're really not. You're really
And
not.
dude, those guys will make money. Kyle Kuzma will make
Yeah,
money throughout his
they'll make
career.
money for sure, but people are labeling them something that they're not. They're not
Yeah,
leaders of
Kuzma was
teams.
another guy, bro. Kuzma came in the league when he was what, 22, 23?
Mm-hmm.
It is very unlikely he'll become an all-star back in the days. I used to argue with my friends. I'm like, dog, you're betting on a 23-year-old guy to be an all-star when he's most likely not.
Correct. And what's the other guy from the Cavs? He falls into the same tier. What's his
Garland?
name? Darius Garland. Yep, another one.
Yeah.
There's these
He's a
players.
borderline.
Yeah, they're just borderline. But if you average
Yeah.
20 points per game, they instantly call you a star. It's
No,
weird. That's the
it's a
same
stupid
standard.
title.
That's the same standard that it was maybe like 10 years ago when the game was a
Yeah.
lot slower and the scoring was a
Yeah.
lot less.
Of course. Bro, there's nothing wrong with being Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with it. But yo,
No,
you know what?
Jordan.
But you know what's so
Mhm.
crazy? I think in the future in the league, we're gonna see a bunch of Jordan Clarksons on minimums, scoring about like
And
19 a game. 19 to
I'm a
20.
It's gonna be a fun time, bro. I enjoy watching Jordan Clarkson. If we get a bunch of them, I'm all for it.
Yeah, he's a great player. And like you said, those guys, they're gonna make their money. But to label them
Yeah.
like the Kuzma type of tier as a star,
It's
like,
stupid,
It's delusional, man.
bro. Because like, all right, Kuzma has been in Washington for 3 years. What improvements have they made? Nothing.
Even
Like, bro,
even Mikal Bridges falls into this category. He's
dog,
getting
he was one of
exposed in
those guys.
Brooklyn.
No, he's not a main guy, bro. Mikal Bridges, he's not. He's averaging 21 points per game. If I'm not wrong, let me recheck because I just wrote about them and published it. But where is it?
Yeah, but
He's averaging. He's
what is he
averaging like what,
averaging?
lower 20s, right? And he sacrifices defense, obviously, just because he has more of an offensive load. Those are not guys who help you win games, bro. He's a third or fourth on your team.
Mm-hmm.
A third and fourth. And I'm tired of people don't want to admit it, bro. But like a guy who's averaging only what 21 points per game, 21 points per game or around there. Around 21 points per game. He's not gonna be your guy, bro.
But you
And I
see,
hate to say it,
but you
especially
see,
at the age of 20,
but you see,
yeah, 21
they
points per
keep
game.
talking up these guys as if they're stars, and even the Brooklyn Nets this past trade deadline, they didn't want to trade Mikal Bridges. They said they're gonna build
No,
around him as if
a
he's a star.
27-year-old.
But he's like, yeah, like you said, he's 27, and I'm just like, again, he's part of the Jordan Poole,
Yeah,
Kyle Kuzma type of tier.
yeah.
These guys are not
Yeah.
stars, man. They're not even stars. They're
I
just
wrote that. I'm
they're
like,
just like good third pieces of teams.
I wrote that in my article. I'm like, building around Mikal Bridges doesn't make any sense. He is 28 years old and entering the prime of his career. He is what he is at this point, and that's what it is, and it's fine. Like Mikal will always have money, and Mikal doesn't, dude. I think we were talking about this last interview, dog. Last time when he did that interview with his boys from Villanova, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, he even said, "Bro, I don't even want to carry this load." Like he insinuated that way.
Because he was never designed to carry that load. He was looking like a mean player when he was next to Booker and all these other guys like CP3 who carried the
See,
load.
yeah,
Even
they
that bum ass center
created
that they
plays
got.
for him.
What's the center that they
Created
had?
Aiden.
Aiden. Even Aiden carried a heavier load than Mikal Bridges.
Uh-huh.
So now all of a
Bro,
sudden they trade him, and everyone
and
has
he's
this
not creating.
imaginary expectation. Oh, Mikal is on his own
Yeah.
now. Now he's gonna average 25, and it's like, nah,
No,
he ain't even averaging no fucking 25.
he's lucky he's averaging 21. The amount
Yeah.
of the ball is in his hands, he should be averaging more, at least 25.
Oh, facts. Same thing
Yeah,
for Harrison
but
Barnes. Harrison Barnes is another player that kind of fell
yeah,
into that trap.
When he went to Dallas, and everyone's like, "Yo, Dirk is on his way out.
Mm-hmm.
He has a chance to become that guy." Dog,
Mm-hmm.
dude, it's tough. The NBA is tough,
Yeah,
man.
it's tough. It's
When
tough.
you're afforded the luxury of having Chris Paul set you up 3-point shots, you're gonna look sexy.
Mm-hmm. Yo, you know who's another player that should be in this tier? The one that got injured that went to Dallas. The
Chris Tapps?
no, the white guy, man, that went to Dallas. He went to Memphis, then Dallas. He was always hurt.
Parsons.
No, he played for Houston. He was balling
Chandler
out.
Parsons.
Chandler Parsons, yes.
Yeah.
He's another one that falls
He's
in
another
this
guy.
tier.
I remember, dog, the free agency which Bosch was available,
Yep.
and Houston was all set on Bosch. And it seemed like Bosch was coming to Houston. And so Dallas made that big move by getting Dirk Nowitzki to take a pay cut for a gamble on Chandler Parsons.
Yeah.
He never paid out either. And
Nope.
Memphis, obviously they thought the same shit with the aging Conley and Mark.
Yeah, the NBA is full of guys that kind of fall into this, but nowadays those guys, they're getting paid the big bucks. That's the real difference. Today, those guys are getting paid.
They're investing on potential. Some of these guys can make that jump, but some of these guys, they are what they are, man.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Some guys enter the league, you see them the first year they average 16, then 18, then they average 21, and then they stay stuck at that. You know what I mean? Like they just stay stuck at that. That's it.
I mean, dog, I died for Mikal Bridges money, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. We all would die for Mikal Bridges money. He's taken care of for life. He'll find a job up until he's 40.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's like,
but the Brooklyn Nets, man, just saying like this is our franchise guy is crazy.
No, they're stuck. They have to.
It's crazy. I think they're just trying to sell tickets over there, man.
Bro, Houston got that draft pick, bro. Yeah. you know what it is, man. They're like, shit, we're fucked.
Yeah, but you know what? Houston tried to give them back their draft picks, I've heard, for Mikal.
For Mikal, yeah. And he would have been great for Houston too.
Yeah, but why not take that deal? I don't get it.
Raphael, I like Raphael Stone, man, but some of his moves do get me head scratching a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I actually like him a lot. I think he's done a good job drafting.
yeah. Did you hear
But
about Doc Rivers and some of his
what,
my man went on a rapper's press run. I don't know what the hell was he doing.
bro? I don't get this guy's been in the league like
Yeah.
for what 40 years now. Doc's been in the league for a long ass time, bro. And he's been a coach for 3 decades. What the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, I don't really understand what is he doing. But I'm gonna play the soundbite of him talking about
Yeah.
just the conundrums he had about just joining the the Milwaukee Bucks. It seemed like he didn't want the job, man, to be honest with you. Even though they hired him as a consultant a few months before. So he already knew this transition was coming of him just taking over.
Taking a job when you're about to go on the toughest road trip of the season is not the smartest decision. I even told them that. Can we wait till All-Star break? You know, it would have been a lot nicer. So that in that way, it's been harder. I mean, the fact I've been in Milwaukee 4 days. You know, I've had the job for 3 weeks, so it's been difficult. It's been probably more difficult than I thought.
Yo, is that not crazy?
Bro, this is a slap to ownership and John Horst.
Yeah, man. But yo, how much did Doc get? He got like 5 years guaranteed.
Yeah,
I
bro.
feel like
Doc,
I feel like he's still
Doc
getting
is
paid from the
bullshitting, man.
Clippers and the 76ers. He's still getting paid from them.
This guy is bullshitting, man. I don't like to slander Doc. He's a Hall of Fame coach, but dog, you are a media trained man. What he's trying to do a whole apology tour of getting of Adrian Griffin getting fired, which doesn't make any sense. Nobody's asking you to make these statements, man.
Yeah.
And
It's
I also
just
think he wants to clean his hands clean. He wants to keep his hands clean if Milwaukee falls in the playoffs.
which they will. More than likely,
They
right
will.
now, it's just the way the roster is set up. It doesn't
Bro,
make any sense. They don't really have guys outside of Giannis and Brook
yeah.
Lopez to get rebounds. They have bad perimeter defense. They're
Yep.
horrible in transition. There's a
They're
lot of
slow.
fucking holes with this team. Giannis is a big man that's also a ball handler. Dame does not
Yeah.
move off ball. There's a lot of shit weird with this team. And the worst part about this team is that along with the weak perimeter defense, they have a big ass center who plays drop back coverage. So it's like,
Bro, they're just
damn,
slow.
bro.
They're a slow team.
Yeah, man. It's like,
Yeah.
man, they can only mask that shit for so long.
And what's called, and yeah, and I also want to give you credit, bro. You're a big help for my Milwaukee Bucks, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I pushed one of your videos, the Dame time basketball. That video was great to me, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's the truth. I mean, Dame is not a bad guy. He's pretty chill,
No.
but I feel like he's been kind of coddled in the NBA a little bit, being up there in
Mhm.
Portland, and I don't think he's at that tier of
He's getting
the
coddled by
Stephen
three
Currys.
dimensions.
Yeah, he's not
He's
at
getting
that
coddled by
Stephen.
media,
Wait, say that
fans,
again?
and he's getting coddled by 3 directions: media, fan, and organization.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the All NBA 75. He should not have been there. No offense to
No.
Dame. There's been
I
guys
mean,
that
Dwight
have
should have
led
been there.
teams to finals, man.
Dwight should have been there.
Yeah, Dwight should have been there. Shit, Bernard King should have been there. He led his team to a championship going up against Kareem and all of them.
Yep.
Like, I
Yeah,
don't
there's a
understand.
lot
Like,
of
how was
guys that
Dame
should have
there?
been there. No, it doesn't make any sense. These guys, they like I like the attitude. I like the Dame time, the showboating. It's cool as hell. But Doc, you look at this team, it's not sustainable. Anything they do, they're slow. They have no defense. Obviously Giannis needs a guy who plays off ball. That's why Chris was so perfect. Is Chris, sure they were slow, but Chris could play off the ball. Chris didn't need the ball. And he was a knockdown perimeter guy. They don't have that anymore.
Yeah, he didn't. And I believe Giannis sometimes, I understand watching Dame time from a distance. He seems like he could be a big help to you, but I'm like, this offseason, I remember thinking, wow, Giannis just signed up to do more fucking work. He's gonna miss Drew
Yep.
Holiday, man. he really signed up because Giannis right now is having an all-time NBA season right now. For him,
Yeah.
he is killing it. But he's having games where he's like shooting like 70%, and they're still barely winning these games. And that
They're winning by the
reminds me,
skin of their balls, man.
yeah, and that reminds me of Dame in Portland. Dame had
Yeah.
like these 50-point games, but he still had to hit a fucking buzzer beater at the end.
Yeah.
Why
And then they
is
win
that?
by like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Like,
but
like come on.
nobody ever asked how come Dame had to be Dame time at the
Come
end
on.
of these games when he's dropping like 60 points. It's because they
Yeah.
don't play defense. That's why.
No. You have one guy carrying the load.
One guy carrying the load, but at the same time on the other end, they don't really give a fuck.
On the other end, dude, who did you have on defense? Nobody.
Him and
Aminu Al
CJ
Farouk.
McCollum up front.
So they got cooked every time.
But it's the same thing that's happening now in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Except now
You're
it's
like
Dame and
Malik Beasley.
That
And
shit's even
Beasley's
worse.
solid. But he's not gonna win you these games, bro. You need someone that can just lock down a guy. You don't need a guy who takes some scoring options, bro. Like in the guard spots, you need someone that can be like, all right, Dame, on defense, you could lax a little bit. Like the Knicks have that shit. The
Yeah.
Knicks have Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, where like, Brunson doesn't have to take in that, oof, I gotta always, run around the defender.
But even if they collapse on Brunson, at least the Knicks have the proper spacing and the proper guys to actually. They have slashers. They have guys who can shoot threes and OG on the corner.
Yep.
They have Randall, who's a bull down low. And then they have Mitchell Robinson grabbing the offensive boards when they miss. The Knicks don't have to be
Robinson,
perfect.
Hardenstein.
Yeah, they don't have to be
And
perfect every
off
night.
the bench, if it's not going, you have Dante Giblin and Enzo just hooping for you. Dog.
But wait, hold on.
It's,
Even though if the Knicks end up missing all those shots, right? They don't have to be perfect because they got guys grabbing the offensive boards. Who's doing that for Milwaukee?
nobody's doing that. Robin never been. Brook never been a good. Brook never been a good rebounder.
Yeah, and that's their dilemma.
Yeah.
That's why Doc is going in this. You ever see the rappers go in the press run? They're at every fucking interview, every podcast. That was Doc Rivers the other week.
Doc Rivers, man, and that's why they had to get Patrick Beverly.
That shit ain't gonna work, man.
No,
yeah, they
Pat
got Pat
Bev.
Bev. Yeah, Pat Bev about to turn up on that whole fucking team when they lose.
It's not 2018 anymore, though, man. How much load can Pat Beverly carry?
Yeah.
That 2018 is gone, bro. It's almost a decade.
Yo, the only thing they did by getting Pat Bev is getting a new PR publicist, man. He gonna be in his podcast spilling all the beans, man.
Bro, but for the time being, he's like the most loyal player for your team.
Yeah, for that time
Did you see him just curse out to JJ Reddit? I was like, come on, man, that's corny.
Yeah.
You don't gotta revitalize history or like reinvent history just so like you can have to protect your boy. Like JJ Reddit has been that dog since like Duke.
Yeah, but hey, that's Pat Bev, man. He's turning into that media darling, that media personality.
Bro, I hate him, man. I'm not a fan of these media personalities, bro, in the NBA.
Yeah, I like a few key guys, but I think it's needed. I think it's needed for the ecosystem because.
No, I don't like reactionary. Like I think Pat Bev is going for that more reactionary kind of media thing. I'm kind of tired of like the Gilbert Arenases and you know what I mean, like the Gilbert Arenas, Kendrick Perkins type, where everything has to be reactionary opinions.
Yeah, now with Gilbert Arenas, I believe he's doing things to go viral, for shock value.
He's always been like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I listen to his opinions. I'm like, come on, Gilbert. There's no way you believe in this
Nah,
shit.
he doesn't believe in it. He's doing the whole the whole trolling thing.
Yeah. I mean, dog, whatever gets some clicks, I guess it works. But I feel like a lot of these players, the old players, are out of touch, man.
Yeah, let me play the soundbite of Gilbert right here, man. Let's see him talking about the Europeans ruined the NBA. He is bugging. Yo, Gilbert. Wait, is that the soundbite you sent me? Let me see.
Yeah, I sent you earlier today.
Yeah, let me see. Gilbert Arenas. Yeah. Gilbert, man. He's pulling out the guns again.
Bro, he did it all, bro.
Pulling out the guns again. Let me see what he said.
I know what they can do. Get rid of all the Europeans. What? You just said it. You just said it. You go to college to learn defense.
Yeah.
What college do Europeans go to? They have no athleticism, right? They have no speed, no jumping ability. They are a liability on defense. There's 150 Euros in the league today. Name the top 10 defenders. Just Rudy Gobert and Greek the Freak. Other than that, they're just offensive players. They're not defensive players, right? So the NBA took away aggression. They took away aggression to open up the Euro League. When they first started getting here, it was too rough for them. So
they didn't make it.
They didn't make it, right? So eventually, they softened the rules. They didn't soften the rules for the Americans. They softened the rules to open it up international. So when they're saying the Euros is going to run the league in the next 5 years, why do you think that? More threes, passing, cutting. This is not our league. This is not the American style. This is the Euro style.
Gil is not being honest right there.
No, he's being dishonest.
Gil is not being honest because he did not talk about the style of play in AAU. Are they fucking playing defense? No. They're having the young kids because they know the young kids are too small to go through two defenders. They got them just playing zone defense. It's the AAU.
Who is playing defense in the NBA that's an American player? Like
nobody. Because
like sure, we can slaughter the Europeans, but come on, man.
We went over this earlier when you seen Steve Clifford bitching about his players not playing defense.
They're not playing defense, dog. The Charlotte Hornets is full of American players that don't play defense.
Yeah, man. What is Gil talking about?
Like, what are you talking about, bro? All right, even these rule changes, bro. The flagrant foul was introduced to protect the prized possession of the NBA, which was Michael Jordan. But it wasn't to protect fucking, I don't know, Drazen Petrovic. It wasn't to protect Vlade Divac.
Yeah, Gilbert is not keeping it a buck right there.
Also, I think the soft narrative doesn't make any sense, man. I think that narrative this should be dead by now, bro. Like, what European player do not have a long career, man? Like, the ones, obviously, there's going to be ones that don't may pan out, but, like, even in the 80s, Vlade Divac had a career all the way to, 2003? From the 89 to 2003? You have Detlef Shrimp had a great career. Tony Kukoc won 6 rings. Paul Gasol played, retired in 2019, 20?
Yeah, he had 2 rings with Kobe.
Yeah.
His brother, too, dominated in a tough era, too.
He played all the way to 35. So it's like, dog, which European player isn't playing a long career in the NBA?
Yeah, you had Dirk.
Dirk. Luis Scola played a long career in the NBA.
Yeah, he was another tough motherfucker. Yeah. But,
Andre Karolinko.
At the end of the day, man, you see, that's the shit that we were talking about earlier. When I say deep down, some of the players feel a type of way about the internationals.
Yeah,
and it's not a racial thing because I've seen it even with Giannis, and I've even seen Giannis make comments saying that he could never be the face of the NBA because he's not American. He
it's not racial.
He understands it.
Like, you don't see love for Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You're not seeing love for, like, even OG Anunoby when he got traded for. A lot of people are like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And it's like, OG been OG since Toronto Raptors days, man. OG's that guy.
But you know what, Gilbert, the way he felt, those comments, a lot of the sentiment that made him say those things. There's quite a few players in the league that feel that feel a way. Not necessarily
they won't say it
agree with
publicly.
him. They don't necessarily agree with what he's saying, but they have a sort of similar sentiments about the internationals being in the league. Yeah. They feel a type of way, and you're gonna see it play out next summer, or was it this summer in the when Team USA goes in? I believe they're going to France. They're going to Paris for the I think it's like a FIBA game or a FIBA tournament or for the Olympics.
Something like that.
Yeah, why do you think all the top NBA stars all of a sudden are gonna go?
Dude, it's good for us. I'm all for it.
Yeah, but the reason why most of the top stars are going because the noise is getting louder that the internationals are better.
I mean, whose fault is this? When I see Luka Doncic drop 70 and go on a JJ Reddit podcast and say, "Yeah, NBA defense is easy," I'm not gonna argue with them. I just seen him drop 70 on the best of teams. I saw Nikola Jokic drop close to a triple-double or at least a triple-double in the NBA Finals. I'm not going to contradict these guys. They're most likely right.
Mm-hmm.
like like shit. Prove them, like just prove them, and by extension, you'll prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Like
Yo,
we're just guys that sit behind the screen and talk. Like, dog, you don't need to prove us wrong, but just prove them wrong. Beat Giannis at his own game. Beat Jokic at his own
they
game.
can't right now. Right now, the way the league is set up, Jokic
Yeah.
is about to become the new Golden State Warriors, man.
Yeah,
They can't. Yo,
dog.
even the
The same,
Clippers, even the Clippers
I,
right now, how hot they were, they cannot stop
yeah,
Jokic. Still, they
bro.
don't
I
have.
call them new San Antonio Spurs
Man, I just call
because
him the new Golden State with Dirk.
my reasoning for that is like, dog, this team is like Tim Duncan and like Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, B guys, and I also feel that about Denver. Like they just have B guys and Jokic.
Yep.
Though Jamal can be an A guy at moments.
Yeah. Yo, that actually might be the best duo in the league, Murray and Jokic.
Jamal with the handoff passes, bro.
Yeah.
I love the game of handoff passes. When I see like Miami Heat do handoff passes to Sabonis and Durant, when I see obviously Jokic and Jamal do it, dude. The amount of opportunities it creates for other players is incredible.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? I'm telling you, was it last year's finals? Didn't Murray and Jokic get a triple double each in one
What?
game?
Let
I
me
believe so. That was like
yeah. I mean,
let me see, triple
it's not
double.
far fetched. Let's just fact check. But dog, these two were special. Jamal is special, bro. It's just about health for him. But I think these guys fit like gloves, bro. A guy like Aaron Gordon who can cut to the paint when Jokic gets a double team.
Yeah.
And even MPJ who can just hit you an open three. And KCP, obviously. They are so talented, bro. But they didn't go after names. They done it the right way. That's why I call them the San Antonio Spurs. It's like Bruce Bowen wasn't a big name. Tony Parker became a bigger name much later on. And obviously Ginobili kind of became a big name. But in the first championship, 99 and even 2003, I think they won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't big names.
No, they weren't. But
Yeah.
Jokic and Murray got a 30-point triple double in Game 3 against the Heat, which is crazy as a duo.
Dog.
That's
That's
crazy, man. Each of them.
bro, they fit with each other. That's why I like dude, you saw Jamal's statement about the All-Star game. He's like, Doug, I don't need an All-Star game. I'm above that. And he's right. He is above an All-Star game.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Like
right.
shit, man. I'm watching guys drop 200 points in an All-Star game. That meaningless accolades means nothing to me at this point. Like Jamal is above an All-Star, man. If he stayed healthy, he would have had 4 of that shit by now.
Yeah. But going back to the conferences, we was talking about it earlier. I'm telling you, man, the top of the Eastern Conference, when healthy, I always believe that since Kawhi had came to the Eastern Conference, the
Yeah.
top end has always been better than the West. It has always been better than the West. The West is more stacked with more teams, but the top end of the East has been way more dominant. Way more dominant. Because think about it, when Kawhi had came over, you had the Raptors, you had Giannis
Yeah.
and the Bucks, then you had Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, all on one team.
Yeah.
You had them, and then you had the Celtics, and then the next year you had the Celtics with Kyrie and all of them, and then you also had Embiid dominating, and then that's when Giannis started coming up and having his MVP time.
Yeah. And dude, you have these young draft guys who's been really good. Now you got Paulo Banchero and Franz Wagner. Those two duos, it'll be fun to see at
But-
what level they take their game.
But those guys are not there yet. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
teams that could really like get to the finals and give you issues. I'm not even. I'd
Yeah.
even add in Jimmy Butler into that list. I'd even
Yeah.
add the Miami Heat, who've been in what, 2 finals in 3
Yeah.
years.
Dude, they have guys who can make noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
you
they're
have the Celtics,
legit.
you have the Bucks, you have
Yeah.
Embiid and the 76ers, and then you also have
Yeah.
the Miami Heat. The
Yeah.
top end of the East has always been difficult.
The Miami
since,
Heat,
I
yep.
believe since 2019 when Kawhi came over.
Yeah. Bro,
The
they're
name
gonna be
shifted,
difficult
and
for a long
By the
time.
way, I didn't even mention the Brooklyn Nets with KD when he was killing in
James.
21 with
Yep.
Kyrie and James Harden. I even mentioned that team.
Yeah. Bro, the East is gonna continue to be developed, bro. Like even these young talents that are coming in, they're gonna take the East to another level. The East now with LeBron gone, it seems like a lot of these teams were able to. I think LeBron gone benefited a lot of these teams because they kind of realized, yo, we're not winning with LeBron here, so they kind of regrouped. A lot of these teams were able to regroup, and that's why you're seeing a much more competitive Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Like you saw Miami regrouped. They got Bam. They were able to like swing Jimmy Butler here. It was like they regrouped. They said, all right, dog, we'll just have a fun team with Goran Dragic and Dion Waiters, Hassan Whiteside. We'll build a culture. But when that time when LeBron is gone, bam, they brought in Jimmy. They brought in, Bam was already there, a second-year player, and they drafted great. Dog, it's like, I think like LeBron being in the East was a blessing for the East. Now they become much more competitive.
They have, but when he
And
left the East, it's almost like all the puppies matured. They were already on their way, and then they just matured. And Kawhi was now in the East. That Toronto Raptors team had a legendary playoff, just run. They beat so many tough teams to get to the finals, and then they won the finals with some luck. But overall, the Eastern Conference, and a prime example I'm gonna give you that the West has been nothing but names, except for the Warriors at the time. Remember in the 2019 Western Conference Finals, who was there? It was the Warriors versus
Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard.
But hold on. Why is Dame there? Why was Dame really there? No one ever asked that question.
No.
That team was not that good. That's why Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, without Kevin Durant, what do?
Yeah.
They swept them.
They swept them.
Because then they were never competition.
Look at the comp they have. All right, the underachieving Thunder. Fine, you beat them in what, 5? I like to say game 5 you beat them.
The young
okay, you got them out of the way. Young.
Yeah, it was Donovan Mitchell around that time. He was in the playoffs in the West.
But I don't think he played them because I remember it was first round. It was
but he was in the playoffs. I'm just giving you examples of that conference was a lot weaker than what people think it was.
It was weak. Yep, dog. It was you have them. You beat them right, and then you beat the baby Jokic. All right, you're able to beat them pretty easy. But then, like, dude, the West was easy for Dame. Same with the Warriors, bro. I think even the Houston Rockets, they weren't a tough. They gave them a lot of shit in 2018, but I don't think they were that tough in 2019. I remember Steph beat them. Steph came back, 0 points in the first half in Game 6, dropped 30 bomb on them. They weren't as good as they were in the previous year.
But 2019, the dynamics changed because that's when Kevin Durant messed up his ACL in the beginning of that series.
Yeah.
So it was 2-2. And people don't ever talk about this because they always say, oh, the Houston Rockets, it had a CP3 never been injured, they would have beat the Warriors. No, they would not have. Because next year, because 2019 proved that they were never close. So it's 2-2, right? Kevin Durant goes down with the Achilles injury, right? This is before he came back in Toronto in the finals. So Kevin Durant goes down. It's 2-2. Next game, what happens? Klay and Steph completely out-duels Harden and CP3, and then what happened the next game after? They went to Houston.
Game 6.
They went to Houston and fucking beat Harden and CP3 to eliminate them.
And this one, Steph was horrible in the first half,
man,
like dog shit. And then Warriors were still on their necks. How the fuck are you still on your necks when they're like when he's 0, dog? Like you should be destroying the Warriors. We should have meetings by now.
That was their chance to get to the finals, and that's why I don't want to ever hear, oh, CP3 never been hurt. And that series that they talked about in 2018 when CP3 got hurt, Andre Iguodala got hurt when the Warriors were up 2-0, and then the whole series changed. It was 2-2 after that.
Yeah.
That's another thing that don't get talked about.
Also, when you look at that era, right? I think the only team you could say would have gave a fit was Golden State San Antonio Spurs. I feel like the San Antonio Spurs would have, but they probably would have lost in 6. I think Kawhi was just having an MVP that year. Very underrated season because Westbrook and James just went ape shit that year. And LaMarcus Aldridge seemed like he figured it out. I think they had a lot of good veterans. Pau Gasol, young DeJounte Murray. Manu was still on that team. And even Jonathan Simmons, he looked pretty solid in that for that team too. Danny Green. So they had guys, right? But obviously, like the talent factor, they would have bodied. The Warriors would have bodied. But they had a lot of smart veterans. I think that team would have gave them a fit. I would have really loved to see how the Pelicans would have played against them. That's another team would have been dope.
Oh, I was about to just mention that. Oh, you nailed it right on the head. How the hell that 73 Warriors team in the playoffs that year, had they matched up against AD and a healthy DeMarcus Cousins with Drew
Yep.
Holiday out in the perimeter, I think
Drew
I'm not
Holiday,
sure if they would have won that series, man. To be honest
Drew
with you.
Holiday, Rondo, and each one
Oh
more who
yeah,
was a great
Rondo off the
shooter.
bench. Oh my God, pick and roll
Yeah.
action all day.
Rondo, each
Woo!
one more hitting your shots. They had some guys there, bro.
Yeah, man, that team,
Like
yo,
each
and
one,
that's prime AD.
these guys aren't sexy names, but these guys were role players. Each one
Mhm.
more was a solid role player for your team.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
something that never gets talked about. That team, had they
And
been
then you bring
healthy.
in Nikola Mirotic off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
The team was good, man. Like,
Yeah, that era, there was a few things that could have played out very different. Very
yeah,
different. That 73
like,
win team going up against the Pelicans in the playoffs with DeMarcus Cousins, that would have been a problem.
bro. Even with Kevin Durant, they probably would have gave him problems too, man. Because they had good length. Warriors had, I mean, the Pelicans had length
Yeah. They
with
would have, yeah,
Mirotic off the
they had
bench.
athleticism too
Yeah,
down low. Like who the
yeah,
hell Draymond had to deal with Cousins and Davis?
yep. And then off the bench, you got Mirotic who's stretching your floor. How are you stopping it?
Yeah.
Um,
It's
so
crazy.
that's the only teams you could really think about. And then Allen Iverson, you want to talk about that?
What him getting a statue?
Yeah, I mean, I saw you. We didn't touch on the Kobe one, so we could do both of them at the same time,
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah, I forgot
dude. I
about that.
mean,
Yeah, so yo, do you think that's the reason why Melo all of a sudden is tripping about like, oh, they're trying to erase my number 15, because he sees all these guys actually have a home to go back to. Like
dude,
Iverson got Philly, Kobe got the Lakers, Dwayne Wade is getting a statue, I think, outside of Miami too. Dwayne Wade is
but
getting
dog,
a
I think
statue.
statues. What I'm worried about is I'm cool with these statues. These guys are getting statues, right? But my worry is, dog. I hope it's not to the point where like, oh
Everybody
man, you
gets
want
one.
one title, everyone gets one. Then it's like, what the hell? There's nothing special about them. It has to be a couple decades where you've like spent a couple decades and you win a finals. Iverson spent what up to like 10 years in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he was there for a good minute.
Mm.
Maybe like
He was
6 or
good.
7.
He
Oh no,
took them to the
yeah, you know what?
finals.
You're right. It was about 10 years. I forgot. Yeah,
He took them to the finals. So those guys deserve it, right? Like
yeah.
Steph Curry in the Warriors is the only one that deserves it. I see quiet discussions. I'm not very fond of it. I think a 1 year, maybe a jersey retirement at best, but I don't know about a
Yeah, I don't know
statue.
about a statue. LeBron should get one for Cleveland because no one's ever going
Cleveland,
there after
yeah.
him. I'm sorry. You
Eh,
got to be born from there for
yeah.
for them to get a free agent. I'm sorry.
No, they're not getting. You have to be traded to Cleveland in order to like actually
Yeah.
give a shit. I actually want to play there.
It's the
But
work
yeah,
rate back
LeBron
there.
is getting one in Cleveland. I see him a discussion about him getting in LA. I'm like, nah, man.
What? That's
That's
disrespectful.
yeah. And then you have to give Pau Gasol
Nah.
one at some point.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
Yeah, that's
LeBron getting one
disrespectful.
in LA is crazy. Magic Johnson don't got one.
Yeah.
How LeBron qualified
Wait,
to get
Magic
one?
doesn't have one yet?
I don't think Magic Johnson got a statue in LA.
I think he does, bro. Shaq has one, so Magic for sure has one
Wait, you mean in Staples Center?
in Staples Center.
Nah, they got to be careful. They can't give LeBron don't have enough tenure.
Yeah, I'm talking
sorry.
about Staples Center. I'm like, dog, he doesn't have that accolades in him. I mean, he deserves a jersey retirement. You're not gonna have me question that, 100%. But I don't know. Statue is crazy to me, bro. Carmelo Anthony, his best bet is maybe a jersey retirement. But
No.
other than that, dog, the
No.
statue is crazy.
Jersey retirement where? Because you have to understand the jersey retirements, there's players who set the standard for that.
But I also disagree with you on the Kevin Durant viewpoint.
No, hold on. I just want to say this. With the jersey
Yeah.
retirement as far as Melo, he can't get one in New York because there's a standard already. The players
Yeah.
that are up there, they either led their teams to the finals multiple times or they
Yeah.
won the championship. There's a standard. Melo don't have anything near
No.
that. He has one second
Jokic
round
is getting one.
appearance in 7 years. Like, it just don't add up. He can't
Yeah.
get one. He can't get
That
one.
number is Jokic's, man. That number is Jokic. Jokic is getting a statue.
Oh, yeah. And Jokic won.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jokic
And
won.
Jamal's also going to get his jersey retired by the end of his career.
Oh, yeah, for sure, because he won.
Yeah.
He won.
Yeah,
These
he
guys
won
made
in
their
the
names
championship.
in Denver, and they won. Had
Yeah.
Melo won a
Those
ring
two-
there, he would get something.
But yeah, if he made multiple conference finals, he would have got there.
Yeah, but it's like, at the end of the day, like a lot of these guys, they're gonna have to realize, of course,
Yeah.
you're empowered to ask to go to a different city, but you have to
Yeah.
take in everything that comes with it. You can't just be like, I
Mhm.
want my cake and I want everything
I'm gonna eat
too.
it too.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
come on, bro. It's like you
Dog,
gotta
7 years is not enough.
yeah, you gotta take the repercussions for player movement. The good and the bad.
Like Melo did not even go through a second contract, so I'm surprised he's asking for a jersey retirement to begin with. Durant, I disagree with you on, man. I saw that's one of your points. I don't see a world where Durant doesn't get his jersey retired in Oklahoma and Golden State.
Nah, I never said he's never gonna get. I think he should
I,
get it in
I thought you saw it in the Cliff Notes. Where is it?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see. You said where is it at in the cliff notes?
Yeah, you said no established base where to hang up their jerseys. Durant, Melo, CP3.
You know what? For Durant, it's not necessarily with his jersey. He doesn't have an established fan base that's actually gonna hold his career up. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have how players have a fan base like Kobe. His fans are gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh no, he's the GOAT. He's top 10. That's a large fan base to try to push
Yeah.
Kobe into that conversation. Durant does not really have I feel like he
But
kind of
do you feel the
alienated
same
that
way
fan
about Shaq?
base.
Do you feel the same way about Shaq?
Yeah, Shaq won 3 NBA Final MVPs and 3 championships in LA. He has a huge fan base that's going to back him up. He was dominant. It's not like he just went to LA. He went to LA and he dominated.
But Durant won to I don't see Golden State Warriors ever degrading Durant. Like outside of a couple of troll fans,
They're not
I
going to
don't
degrade
see.
Durant, but they're not going to
Yeah.
ride out for him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
when
that's
it's
because he played. Well, also with my backtrack to Shaq, I want to retract my statement. When he came to LA, Kobe wasn't a star yet. They didn't have a real star, and Shaq was able to fill in that void.
no, Shaq was their star.
No, I'm saying before Kobe blossomed, like when Shaq signed, Kobe wasn't a star, right? So Shaq became that franchise star since like Magic Johnson. So I want to retract my statement about Shaq.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Shaq,
that I wanted to
Shaq
make
was
sure.
already. Yeah, Shaq was already. He already been
He
to
was
the
a
NBA
superstar.
Finals.
Yeah, he was a
NBA Finals
superstar.
before he got there. Yeah,
Also,
Shaq should get his jersey retired everywhere he went. He went to the finals,
Yeah.
NBA Finals everywhere, except when he was chasing rings. I don't know why he did that. He didn't have.
yeah,
to
I don't know why
do
he
that
did that
shit.
either.
But yeah, when in his prime, he brought every team he was on to the NBA Finals. He actually should have won more championships than what he had. Had he stayed in shape and stayed focused, man, he could have had like
What
9
one with
rings.
Nash, Pierce,
Yeah, he could have had way more
LeBron.
rings. But yeah,
But-
but what I had put down is that Melo and possibly Durant, the dilemma that they're having is that when they retire, they don't have like a group of like a fan base to say, "Oh, we're gonna jump on your back and we're gonna carry your jersey into the certain conversations." Like, "Oh no, remember
Okay,
Melo?"
gotcha.
Like Allen Iverson, even though he didn't win a championship, you'll have people.
Yeah.
He has a large fan base. They're gonna be like, "No, AI is one of the best." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Durant and Melo, that fan base behind them is kind of like, it's kind of fractured. It's all
Durant
over the
fan base
place.
isn't all that active either, to be honest with you.
It's not even that. They're just too fractured. It's like, oh, there's
Yeah.
the Melo OKC fans, the Melo Houston
Yeah.
fans, the Melo Knick fans, where he didn't really do that much, and then the
Yeah.
Melo Denver fans, where he said he wanted to leave. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's a weird spot to be in.
Well, do you think Blake Griffin has a base? Because then I think Blake would have a base in Clippers.
Yeah, he would. They would like him because Blake was fun. Blake was fun.
Blake was charismatic, and he was the first superstar to wear a Clippers jersey.
Yeah, Blake was fun, but Blake never said like "fuck LA, I want out of here." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah,
it was
he-
never that type of energy.
I think him and Ballmer probably got issues, but I think that could be settled.
But Durant kind of has that energy about him. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
we almost beat the Warriors, and you left us for our rivals.
It's gonna,
You know what I'm saying?
you know how
Like
Shaq, just got his jersey retired in Orlando. I think it'll take him that long for Durant to see his jersey retired in Oklahoma. Like,
I don't know.
I feel like it will happen. It will happen, but it's just a matter of when.
Yeah, I don't know. I think now it's gonna happen sooner than we think because they're not going to retire Westbrook's jersey before his. So by
No,
the
they
time,
can't.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna offer Durant a retirement just so that, because OKC is gonna be rushing to hang up Westbrook's jersey
Because
somewhere.
it's not like he left. It's not like he left Boston or LA, where like they'll move on. This is a franchise that hasn't really won shit. So for them, Durant means the world.
Yeah, and Durant, honestly, that's the best player they ever had. Let's not cap.
100%. Though, like maybe Shea could change that conversation if he wins them a championship.
Yo, Shea's doing his thing, but Durant's a different. It's a different
No,
level, though, man.
bro, we'll never see another Durant.
Yeah, Durant
But I'm
is a
saying like
different level.
the value of like the organization, right? Is like, I'm not talking as a player all the time, but I'm talking about like the impact. If Shea wins a championship, then he bodies Westbrook and Durant for what he did for the city.
But Durant still to this day, man, he's the only guy that led Westbrook all the way deep into the finals, man. Nobody's ever been close to even imitating that. That's how good Durant
Westbrook
was.
has a base. Westbrook has a base.
Yeah, Westbrook definitely has a base because he plays hard.
James Harden in Houston has a base because people still riding that for that guy here, bro.
Yeah, there's a statue in Houston downtown.
Yeah, people like he owns the Dynamite. I don't know if he still does.
Yeah, I think he still does.
Yeah.
He still does. But yeah, Houston got a lot of love for James Harden.
What other thing we could talk about? You wanna talk about some tanking teams? We talked about contenders for the most part.
Oh wait, hold on. The last player, CP3. Who the hell is gonna hold up his jersey? Cause he's been all over the place too.
Clippers,
Man,
Lob City.
It's not big. It's not big enough of a fan base though.
No, it's not.
They're not passionate enough. Like, who's really gonna be there to say, "Yo, CP3, put him up there on that fucking list"?
It's gonna be hard because, like, what he gave Houston 2 years. He gave Oklahoma 1 year. He gave Phoenix 3 years? 2 years?
Yeah, maybe 3 years. It's all over the place and it's incomplete. Like, you gave him the 3 years, but you didn't fully finish.
Like maybe
job.
New Orleans because he did play through the Katrina. He did play for the city during Katrina, so maybe that's sentimental value. But it's hard to say, man.
Yeah, it's hard to say. His fan base is fractured. Man, it's fractured like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's hard, man. He's gonna be one of those guys.
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard. But that's one negative of the player movement. It's like I don't think some guys ever thought about it until they retired. Like, I kind of like jumped from team to team to team.
If you can't be LeBron, then it's useless. If you can't be LeBron or Kawhi Leonard, then it's useless.
Yeah, that would serve against you.
Because Toronto will die for Kawhi at this point.
Yeah, Kawhi is gonna get his jersey hung up in Toronto.
He's getting his jersey hung up, and I don't know about San Antonio. I would like to say I think eventually he will get his retired in San Antonio. He'll get it retired in LA, and I think he'll get it retired in Toronto.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
What do you think about
Wemby? For sure is gonna get his jersey fucking retired.
Bro, that dude will end up being a top 15 player of all time.
Man, I wouldn't be shocked if he got like 7 rings. To be honest with you.
Dog, the way we talk about Mike, right? Like, I think I think our kids and our grandkids will talk about Wemby.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is too special, bro.
Yeah. There was one time. You ever see like little kids when they're running around in the playground? How they, especially like the little kid that's the fastest. You see how low he gets to the ground and he twitches. I seen Wemby one time. He was just running on a fast break. The ref just blew the whistle to stop. Wemby just twitched and went around him. Like, I was like, bro, is this guy like 6'1"? Like, the way he moved his legs, it was hard to believe he was 7'1". He stopped at a dime and fucking went zigzag. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Dog, that dude is something, bro. Dog, it's just the way he moves. Is a point guard. Like, you like, I've never seen a big man move this easy, bro.
And he brings the ball low to the ground too, which is weird.
Dog, he plays like a guard.
Oh my god! Like, how do they stop this guy? When he figures out the game fully, I don't know.
He's scary.
I don't even think you have to put too many pieces around him.
No, you don't, bro. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, this team The Spurs are a smart organization. They have to build them a squad.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to hurry up because him and Chet,
Yeah.
Chet is ahead of him as far as like the team building concept.
Yeah.
Like his
Well, Chet is a
organization
third
is
option,
far
man.
ahead.
Chet is a second or third option. This guy is your first option.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference, bro.
Yeah, but Chet is gonna
What do
be
you?
ahead of him as far as like on his way to the finals because his team is just complete. Like
Yeah,
versus Wemby's team, it's night and day. The point guard
yeah.
situation, the bench situation, having another dynamic scorer with what Jalen Williams and SGA. It's just, man, like they're just more complete. And they got draft picks. They got like 8 first-round draft picks.
Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, like they. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
bro.
know Wemby's gonna be
We touched
sick.
on it last time. We don't even know what the hell they'll do with that shit, bro.
This will probably be the first time. Yo, what if other teams in the league just say fuck it and just let OKC keep them at the very end and until they get desperate enough to start selling them for cheap? That shit might
I think
backfire
that's
on them. Them having all
no.
them first round picks.
I don't get the conservatism, dog. Because I don't know. Shea's in his 7th year, right? So now he's happy now that he's competing. But at some point, it's like, dog, they have to win a championship. So these guys have to be moved. You can't do conservative moves like Gordon Hayward all the time. Like in my opinion, they should have made a move for like Hardenstein or
Yeah,
Jakob Pertl, someone
agree.
like that. Like those guys would have been big help. Yes, especially Yak, because I don't know how long his contract is, but you can tell Toronto's for 2 first-round picks. Toronto would move him in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Let me see how many first. I believe OKC has quite a few picks for this year. Yeah, so
Bro, I
for
think they have picks all the way to
2020
what 2027.
Yeah, so for 2024 they got 3 first round picks. 2025 they got 4. 2026 they have 1. 2027 they have 3. 2028 they have their own, and 2029 they have 2 first round picks. So I don't know what the fuck they're waiting on. That's crazy. They have seven.
Maybe a
They have
disgruntled
7
star.
first round picks for the next 2 years.
I assume it'd be for a disgruntled star.
Man,
But
yo,
how often are you getting disgruntled stars? That is my question.
hey, I wouldn't be shocked if they got KD. If KD's smart, he'll be trying to make a way back over there, man, for redemption.
Maybe KD, maybe even maybe Paul George is like, you know what? This jersey's for sure getting retired in Oklahoma. Maybe he's like, you know what? Maybe another swing at Oklahoma
Mm.
as a brand new role. The possibilities is endless, dog.
Yeah, I know. The
And you have
possibilities is
guys on
crazy.
great contracts. Like with Chen and Jalen, when they re-sign, right? They're not gonna re-sign for something crazy because they're just like they're not gonna get crazy numbers yet. When it comes to contract.
I think 2026. No, you know what? The new CBA, the rookies can actually get their money a lot earlier now. They don't have to
I think
wait. Yeah, they don't have
they have to wait till what, 3rd year?
Not they changed it. They can get it. Yeah, now they probably could get in the 3rd year.
Because that's how it has been for a long time. The end of 3rd year, entering your 4th year, you get your new extension.
You're right. It is at the end of the 3rd year, and then no,
Yeah.
it's at the end of the 3rd year. You can negotiate and extend it, but the 4th year, you're still
Yeah.
getting your rookie money.
Yeah, I know that because that's what Aiden was pissed about. You remember?
Yeah, but you know what? The
Yeah.
NBA changed something with the rookie scale contracts. I got to get back to you on that. I know the rookies
Yeah.
now, the top picks, they can get the big contracts a lot earlier.
So Chet and Jalen, what I'm saying is they're not gonna get like the Jalen Brown contracts, 203 million, those kind of contracts yet. So they have a lot of flexibility when it comes to those young guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're probably like the best rebuilding team. But my question too is, what rebuilding team have you seen right now that's like giving you promise, where you're like, you know what, they'll recover pretty nice. Like you could see them being a team in like 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years. Not the Hornets, not the Pistons. The Magic, if they get a point guard, and a shooter. But
Yeah.
I really can't say the Magic. Nah, not yet. Not on them.
Magic
Not
are
yet.
playoffs though. So like
They're a
I
little
can
bit incomplete. They're a little bit incomplete still.
but I'm talking about like Utah, I'm talking about
Oh, the
Toronto where
Rockets.
they're starting from like scratch. The Rockets,
The Rockets.
that's the team I could see.
The Rockets.
The
Yeah.
Rocket, you know, I really like the Utah Jazz too, man, in that regard.
Yeah, but I feel like the Utah Jazz, oh no, they got a rich owner now. Danny Ainge is a little
They
bit
got a
too.
rich owner and they brought Danny Ainge.
Yeah,
Danny
but
Ainge
Danny
went
Ainge is a little
to
bit conservative, man. He's a little bit too
but he
he's
knows
not
how to
risky.
like he knows how to draft guys.
Yeah, he does, but he stays too
Yeah.
stuck on that.
Like Keontae George is a great find. I know we talked about him earlier. No, that's an awesome find.
I would say the Spurs and the Rockets.
The Spurs and the Rockets. Dude, I like the Rockets, man. I just wrote about Jalen Green. It's gonna come like in April because I'm trying to finish all the teams out. He's interesting, man. I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, like in the previous podcast. But if you want to touch on it, I'm
Nah,
down for it.
I'm down. With,
Because there's a lot of pressure that people don't want to admit about Jalen Green. Number one, the Rockets not only have their own picks, they have the Brooklyn picks. So for him, it should be like, damn, they could replace me in any given moment. And they will lose nothing replacing him because they're still a young team. So for them, it's like, all right, whatever, we're moving on. So for him, it's a pressure to love, like playing at that level. And with this Pierce, like Franz Wagner, who's going to get a crazy extension soon. Obviously, Cade Cunningham, who's going to get an extension. Scotty Barnes, who's an all-star. Alphonse Şengün. At some point, he has to look at his, or Evan Mobley, another one. At some point, he has to kind of look at his situation and kind of reassess or like rethink, like, yo, I can potentially be gone by the end of this season, and the team won't miss anything. Like, it won't be a loss on the team.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing, though, right? Jalen Green is definitely a product of the amateur circuit. You know what I'm saying? The whole like play a bunch of games in a day, no structure, because you see it in his game. That's all he knows. What happens when you take away scoring from Jalen Green and ask him, hey Jalen, we're gonna pay you a bunch of money just to do something else? What is he gonna transition to? I think he'll just be stuck. He doesn't know what he is outside of scoring.
Yep. Bro, and also I think we talked about this earlier. I just mentioned those guys, right? Scotty, Evan, Franz. They're good in many facets of the game. Franz can find his shot and he can make the extra pass. Evan Mobley is a defensive monster who's figuring out an offense. Cade Cunningham is a great on offense, underrated because the Pistons suck. Şengün and Scotty Barnes, they can pass and they're walking triple doubles. I just don't know if Jalen Green has another skill outside of shooting, which hasn't worked out for him.
Yeah, it's not even shooting. It's the volume shots, the ability to read the game better.
But that's the reputation he came in with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the reputation of what most. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's what a lot of players coming into the league are coming in. Like even LaMelo Ball. At some point, LaMelo Ball is gonna run into that wall where he's like, okay.
But LaMelo can pass.
He can pass, but at some point, what happens when the games start getting tighter? The possessions, you can't turn the ball over now. You know, in the next 3 possessions, you need 2 buckets. You have to get it, or else you're losing and you're going to get eliminated. What happens when the game starts shrinking? The pace starts slowing down.
You need
what
to be a
happens to LaMelo Ball when he's in these type of environments? We don't know.
You need to create your shot, or at least get a shot off by like multiple dimensions, like a mid-range, a post up, and a 3. And Jalen is, bro. Come again?
I believe a lot of these guys can do it, but it's like they've never had to play within that.
Well, you never have to develop in that way, bro.
Let me give you an example. Put it like this, right? Had the Rockets never got Ime Udoka, right, and they never really got veteran players, do you think Jalen Green, being the face of the franchise the first 2 years he was there, do you think he would have went to the front office and said, hey, you know, I like this coach better. Could we get a more veteran coach? I'm trying to polish my game. I'm trying to play within the structure. We need to win more games this year.
Yeah.
Do you think he would have went to the front office and even asked for that? Or
he wouldn't, but he could have.
Or he would have showed up to training camp and just say, hey, I'm here to get my 25 points per game now. Like, I feel like that's all he's about. I got my numbers,
but dude,
even though we lost, I got my numbers. It is what it is. I got my all-star appearance.
And back then, Jalen had much more power. Now I don't think the Houston Rockets will listen to him.
They don't because his
Yeah.
shot
They,
selection
they have
don't
no
make
reason to.
sense.
They have no reason to.
Yeah, and you got other guys like Whitmore, and then
Whitmore,
they got
Torrey Eason.
they got another player coming off the bench. He's really good at defense. I forgot his name. He has like a
You
long.
got Cam Whitmore, Thompson. You got Torrey Eason.
Yeah, Tari Eason.
Yeah, you got dogs, and
Yeah.
at some point, like Jay Sean Tate is another younger guy who I think they'll trade eventually, but he's good too. Is like you have these guys, right? They're just missing another star. If Jalen doesn't perform, the Rockets will just cut their losses, and that's the problem you always run with. I followed a lot of Rockets pages, right? And they'll praise like the one good Jalen game where he's scoring 37. But it took him like 20 points it took him 20 shots just to get 37, bro.
Exactly.
Like you gotta add context to that shit. Like, yeah, if I'm just a numbers watcher, it's impressive, but 20 points up, bro. It's like he's working for that 37, bro. It isn't coming naturally to him. It isn't a good night for him.
That's his identity since he's been young. What happens when you take that? It worked in the AAU circuit, the overtime, the Nike camps. It worked then.
It works with the kids too, man.
Yeah, but right now, and scary thing, it even worked in the G League Ignite program, which Adam Silver talked about actually phasing out because it's like a glorified AAU program. Winning is not really emphasized. It's like the same shit over again. So So at the end, so this is the program Kuminga, Scoot Henderson, Jalen Green come out of. And pretty much they all have struggled within that transition.
It's taking them longer to develop. Like Scoot Anderson, I'm not gonna call him a bust. I think he's far away from a bust his rookie year, but it's taken him a while to develop.
Yeah, it's taking them a while because you know why? They're getting that AAU type of system out of them, man.
Yep.
They gotta
and he's playing with older guys now. When you're playing with guys like Jeremy Grant, when you're playing with guys like Jeremy Grant, and I think Malcolm Brogdon has been injured, or Matisse Thybulle. Those are the more active players right now. Or even DeAndre Ayton, like you have to mature your game up a little bit. You're not getting those volume shots you think you are.
Yeah, and that's like you said, mature your game up. I'm telling you, had the Rockets never made the change, Jalen Green just would have showed up to training camp ready to do the same shit.
Bro, the Rockets would have been the Pistons.
He would have showed
the
up.
Rockets would have been the Pistons. The Houston Rockets would have been the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. Yo, I'm
like
telling you,
we would have been the Pistons of the youth.
The last 2 years for the Rockets, man, that type of style of play, you guys should never want that again. That's aimless. Aimless.
Dude, I remember coming to a Rockets game, bro. I watched Kelly Olynyk and Lauri Markkanen just body us.
Aimless.
Yeah, I was watching like Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson get easy buckets. I was like Malik Beasley. I'm like, come on, man, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, but that's how they play in the amateur circuit.
Yep.
Yo, I'm telling you, it's like, Jalen Green had like, I don't want to say a cushion path to the league, but the style from the AAU to him getting in G League Ignite to him actually playing for the Rockets, there was really no difference.
Well, at some point,
really
Arenas works
in the whole framework of each step up the ladder. There was no difference. It was freestyle basketball. Get your points, get your numbers.
Arenas works and like he's a part of the G League too. So he's gonna hype up his boys, but he's never gonna admit, the G League not the G League, my bad. The AU has its problems. He'll never admit it. But it does have its problems, bro, and nobody wants to admit it,
But
a lot of these guys
is killing the NBA competition slowly. I think Adam Silver is definitely gonna. They know it too. It's killing the.
Did you not see how pissed he was, bro? Did you not see how pissed he was in the All-Star game?
Yeah, he was, but that's something different. But I'm talking about like what's going on in the amateur circuit. I think the G League Ignite was the league's first step to take control of the amateurs coming right before they come into the league. But by the time they take control at the G League Ignite level, it's already too late. They got to take control when these kids are like 9, 8, 10 years old, 13,
in their teenage,
14,
in their teenage years.
Preteen to teenager. That's when they got to take control of them. Because
you also learn what a role player is too during that time, bro.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, man, like, what is it? Overtime Elite? Yo, these companies now, they're making a lot of money. They got their own stadiums. But if you
their own TV shows.
But if you look at their social media, all they're doing, it's a celebrity kind of, we're doing it for likes type of
Yeah.
culture. That's all it is.
I mean,
Oh, look at Kanye West's son. He's scoring a bunch of points.
yep.
That's all it's
Kendrick
about.
Perkins' son, Scottie Pippen Jr.,
Yeah.
D Wade's son. You think? Let me ask you this. Piggyback on the whole AAU thing. You think Bronny James is a victim of that?
No. Bronny James is a victim of I don't want to say connections, but come on, let's keep it a buck. His father is the
Nepotism?
reason why he's getting a lot of these looks. But maybe he's really just not that. Sometimes it is what it is. Maybe you're just not that good enough.
Man, that dude.
But best believe Bronny James has from a young age has been getting development from NBA coaches. He's been doing NBA drills since he's been young with the best of the best coaches. So
you keep up with a lot of the developmental circuit, right? From college all the way to AAU.
not really. I see a lot of it. I've seen what the development circuit in America has become, and it's become this whole like, oh, a bunch of grown adults filming a bunch of kids. The kids gotta high five each other in front of the camera after they get a layup. They gotta do a dance. They gotta get likes.
do the
They
John
gotta
Moran
get a following. And then
like,
the NIL deals, it's a weird culture going on, and it's and you see it with LaMelo Ball is like the kingpin of that culture. The way he wears his grills, the way he wears his clothes, he's wearing a bunch of chains.
The cars.
Yeah, it's like that look. It's like it's almost like these kids have become a personality through basketball. They become a celebrity through basketball. It's weird. It's a weird, and they don't even have to make the NBA. To be honest with you, a lot of them, they don't even have to make the NBA.
Look at Julian Newman. Yeah, he's another guy, bro. Like, look, with Bronny, I feel like he's in a position where he fails no matter what.
He doesn't have to be LeBron James though.
No, he doesn't. But I feel like because he carries that name, like people want him to be LeBron James.
No, I don't think they want him to be LeBron James. I think it's ESPN, with the help of LeBron James, is supposed to promote his son, which they've been doing since he's been a kid.
Hypothetically,
this is all planned.
Let's say he ends up like Gary Harris. In your eyes, is that a failed career? Because I wouldn't view it as a failed career.
No, it's not a failed career. As long as he makes the league, even if he's in the G League for a little bit or bounces up and down the NBA to back to the G League, it's a success. He's still a 1% player in the world.
100%. I mean, dude, the fact he made what's the university he went to? It's the same one as DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, USC.
Yeah, he made that, bro. That's very difficult to make.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's not really considered like a basketball, like a top basketball program. That's a football school. That's not even a basketball school. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that stick out with this whole Bronny thing, because if they said he's All-American. You know, he's an All-American, and he goes to
scouted
USC.
since middle school. Yep.
You know, All-American tend to go like Duke, North Carolina, Gonzaga,
Kentucky.
Yeah, like those type of schools. They don't go to USC.
Georgetown. Yep.
It's a weird. Like I said, ESPN clearly has a partnership with LeBron James. If they want access to LeBron James, they gotta promote shit that he's doing, whether it's his show,
bro.
his
But
kids,
I also don't like.
It is. It is.
You saw his tweet. You saw his tweet.
Oh, his tweet. Yeah, he probably. But his tweet was probably orchestrated. ESPN told him, "Hey, we're gonna drop. You know, we have to drop him in the rankings because of his performance or whatever." They let LeBron know in advance, and then ESPN knew he was gonna tweet out whatever he was gonna tweet out. They're partners, man. These people are partners. Let's keep it a buck. LeBron James is partnered. If you look at ESPN's whole timeline on social media, it's mostly LeBron.
Yep. Bro, LeBron missed the playoffs and they talked about him. LeBron missed the playoffs and they talked about him so much.
It's so obvious now. Back in the day, people used to accuse the Michael Jordan being in a partnership with the league or just the media, but in reality, it's kind of true. Like, if you're the figurehead, they kind of partner with you because if
they rely
Yeah, the more
They
the more
rely on the
successful
figurehead.
LeBron James is, the more successful ESPN is.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
bro.
that's
Because
how it
NBA is
works.
driven by Unfortunately, NBA is driven by fucking NBA is driven by kind of one player, like 5 organizations.
Yeah, but you know what? It's gonna be outdated, and as
Yeah,
the game gets more globalized, and after the next TV deal, after things become more accessible, maybe through apps, especially if Apple joins in and buys a couple NBA games, things get more accessible.
yeah,
The type of marketing scheme they're gonna have to move off of just the one player, the one LA franchise, the one Miami franchise, the one New York. They're gonna have to move off that. They're gonna have to promote all the teams.
yeah. But did you Muscovin? Man, why am I forgetting my thoughts? Oh, ESPN. Oh, okay, yeah, now I remember. Did we talk about the Brian Windhorst comment on ESPN
Brian Windhorst comments.
about Donovan Mitchell? We don't have to talk much about it because we talked about it in the previous one. But it goes back to your point, bro. You guys care about
We did
markets
talk
when you
about it. We
yeah,
did talk about it.
but fans don't care about this stuff anymore, bro.
They really don't because everything is globalized. I feel like it's the media members who are a little bit older, and when they were
Yeah,
younger, being a big market was a big deal. Because I talk about this with my uncle all the time. I tell him like, he's still stuck on this. Oh, but they got to go to a big market. And I'm like, what the hell? Like big market? Everybody's on the internet.
bro.
Everybody's on League Pass.
I whip on my phone and I'm watching I don't know, a younger guy, let's say random name Keontae George. I know I brought him up a lot. I'm watching him, bro. I don't need the media to tell me if he's good or not.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Why? Yeah, I don't need it. Like I have my eyes. I subscribe to so many like Utah Jazz YouTube videos. I subscribe to your channel.
Mm-hmm.
I have my other ways of consuming media.
Yeah, yeah, and the media consumption is fragmented now. It's people
Mm.
consuming things
Like
in a lot of
yeah,
different ways. You got kids, maybe they might be playing a game and they got the NBA game minimized, or
yeah,
they might be watching it with the was it Apple?
multiple games.
What was that? The Apple Vision
Apple
Pro?
Pro.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like so many
The
different
meta,
ways
the
to
meta, the
consume it.
Facebook meta.
Yeah, or maybe their
Like,
favorite personality is commentating on the game. They're listening
dog,
to a
content.
commentating stream.
The way we take in content is fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Like
it's crazy.
what you do. I watch YouTube. For another guy, like TikTok. I watch a TikTok video. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, bro. NBA is so easy to assess. I don't need a player to play in New York for me to find out about him.
Exactly. Exactly. And just talking to my uncle, it seems like a long time
Mm.
ago, if you wanted the big dollars, the big marketing, you had to do that.
Yeah, you don't need that shit anymore, bro.
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama. If San Antonio's talked about more than I don't know most like they're talking about more than the Brooklyn Nets. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. It's the media landscape has changed for the
Yeah.
better, but it's going to be interesting to see what the NBA works up for their new TV deal. I believe starting this month they're going to be in negotiations. And, there's a lot
What
of
do you?
players, that could come into play. Amazon, Apple TV. Look at the
Yeah,
MLS deal with Apple TV. Now every iPhone has MLS games. This now it's global, and they're looking at it as a global thing. It's not just an American thing. It's a
I agree,
global.
man.
That's why the All-Star game. Adam Silver was stressing the importance of it. In America, we don't care
Yeah,
about it, but globally, the All-Star game is very appealing to see all the top players.
100%.
Yeah, I think the players kind of missed out on that concept. It was like, yo, bro, the game is still big on a global stage. Amazon could pay us a bag for just Friday night dunk contest, or just for the Sunday night game. Who knows? Hulu could or Netflix could want to purchase it.
Yeah.
Like
I
like
mean,
you
dog,
see
it's
like
important,
you
man.
seen what happened with the NFL,
Mhm.
right? Where they sold their first round playoff series for like $100 million just for the opening wild card weekend, one game.
Yep, and the company guaranteed me their profits back,
Yeah. And this is why
bro.
the NBA has done
Yeah,
the play-in season, the in-season tournament, the play-in, all of
Yep.
these brand new.
All star, right after the Super Bowl.
Yep, and all
That
these
was done intentionally.
yeah, all these things
Yep.
are pieces of real estate to sell to streaming, to get a
Yep.
one-time big bag for
Bro,
just the
like,
play-in tournament. Like just the opening series, the opening knockout rounds for the play-in tournament could be on Amazon Prime only. Like that's money right there. The players are like
now you got
leaving that in the
HBO.
garbage.
HBO
I
has
don't get it.
TNT shows. HBO has TNT shows. I mean, HBO has NBA games, TNT NBA games.
Mm-hmm. So this is where the media landscape is going, man. Like there's a lot of money to be made by the players, but I feel like
Yep.
just watching this year's past the All-Star game, I feel like the players missed the boat. I don't know why Adam Silver just don't talk to them directly. Like, yo, we're trying to get money just like the NFL did just for one game. We can get money for the dunk contest. We can get money for the Friday night, Rising Stars game. We can get money just
Yep.
for the All-Star game. Like, you guys are blowing this. It's a 50-50 revenue split. I don't
Bro,
know.
look,
I don't know why the players don't get it.
people like us love NBA. There's no denying that, bro. You and I, we can talk for 20 hours. If we could talk, well, I don't know, 5 nights straight about NBA. Like, it's just what it is. Bro, you can, like, you know how much more people are like us that would love to watch the All-Star game, but they hate watching it?
That shit was brutal, man. I had that shit on mute.
Bro, I was watching The Sopranos, right? And I saw like the shit available on HBO. So I'm like, you know what? I'll get something to write about. If it's good, I'll write something good. If it's bad, I'll write something bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm watching. I'm like, dog, what the hell am I watching? Like, I also wrote like a whole rant about it on my on my blog. I'm like, dog, this is horrible.
Yeah, it was a tough watch. It was a tough watch. But
It was
I felt bad for Adam Silver because I'm like, he's trying to he could get an extra like 400 or 500 million, and these
right.
guys just
Benefits
completely
everyone.
fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
They
If
fumbled
Adam
it.
eats, everyone eats. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I kind of blame Silver at the same time because he should have had a meeting with the players and laid
Yep.
out the blueprint. And had the
You should have
players
told like
understand it.
LeBron. People care about LeBron and Kevin Durant. Tell them, and everyone else would care. Everyone else would care about the All-Star game.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you go to YouTube and look at the old All-Star games with Kobe
Yep.
and Garnett,
Iverson.
yeah, like those guys were
Yep.
competing, man.
No, they were dogs. Jason Kidd, Stephon Marbury. I'm forgetting more names. There were some dogs fighting for that All-Star.
And if you
Now
look at,
I'm seeing.
and if you look at the schedule
Mhm.
back then, the game
Mhm.
would end on Sunday, and they would be the season would resume on Tuesday. That's
I
their
agree,
break.
man.
Their break was literally one day.
It's a joke, man. It's
Yeah.
the players have got too coddled. Which, well, you know what? They're your money makers. I'm not gonna criticize that much, but at some point you have to draw a fine line. And Adam Silver needs to, man. There's more money coming in the NBA. These guys have better schedules. What every demand has been met, but at some point you have to. Your demands need to be met, and they haven't.
Facts. They got chartered planes, the best medicine, the best doctors. Adam Silver gives them breaks, in
Yep.
between games now. Like
It's
it's
a play, bro. It's a players' league now, and you know what? I'm not against it.
I'm not against it either, but they gotta respect
But
the
at some
fans
point,
too.
as a fan, as a beat writer, we make content off these guys. We hope to one day, make good amount of money from these guys. We need these guys to play, man. Like if these guys don't play, we don't eat.
Facts.
This is what it is. What do you think about Scotty Barnes done for the season?
Scotty, I mean, it is what it is. His injury is not gonna be for like a whole nother year, right? It's just for
Yeah.
a few months, right?
But it's season ending.
I mean, yeah, we'll see what the other guys got on the team. And hey, Emmanuel quickly could get some money now. He could,
Emmanuel
kinda show
quickly,
off.
RJ can develop. RJ can further develop. I like the direction they're going with. Did you see they extended Kelly Olynyk for
Yeah,
another
I
2
saw
years?
that.
Yeah,
2 years.
I was like, I'm wondering if they're gonna move on from. I wonder if they're gonna move on from Jakob Poeltl, maybe like have the hometown kid who really wants to be there be the developmental piece for these guys.
Honestly, with the Raptors, I feel like the developmental way is the only direction they're gonna go because they don't like to spend money. Let's be
No,
honest.
they don't.
They don't like
Masai's
to spend money
conservative,
like
bro.
that.
I think people have given Masai a reputation of being reactionary. No, he saw LeBron on his way out and he said, "Yo, I'm making that big trade." But he's a very conservative general manager.
Yeah, he is. He is. But you know,
Like he wrote out the
but maybe
Fred
the
VanVleet
ownership
contract.
is a little bit conservative too because you know they
Yeah,
kind of set the tone for that.
it
And
goes hand in hand. Yeah,
yeah, and I feel like the
like
league
for
right
sure.
now, the league
Yeah.
is getting an influx of just these multi-billionaires, and a
Yep.
lot of them they don't have the same self-control. I don't think the older owners know that. Like some of these owners have been around since the 70s and 80s, like the
Yeah.
Chicago Bulls owner, the Timberwolves owner. A lot of these guys don't realize like, yo, you're competing now with tech billionaires that don't even give a fuck. They're gonna
You
spend the
got
money
money
to
to
be
spend.
better.
And that's why it was no, even Minnesota. Now the owner is a tech billionaire. The guy who sold babies.com. I forgot his name. But
No,
he's the owner of the Minnesota now.
no, I heard. Wait, did they buy the team? I heard A Rod and the other
A-Rod and that guy
investors.
about the tune. Yeah, A-Rod and A-Rod and the guy that sold babies.com to Amazon. They're the owners.
Yeah, but I heard that they owed a payment of like 600. I forgot how much they owed, but they didn't make the payment. The
Mark
due date
Lord.
passed.
No, it passed. They got it. They agreed to the purchase in 2021, put in place.
Yeah, but it was the
Yeah.
payments were supposed to be made in increments.
Yeah, it installed payments from the pair paid to over 3 years before becoming the control owner. So they're not control right now.
No, the
So
3 years is up. Yeah, I'm telling you, I
the
read
years.
this the other day. The time was
Oh,
up.
okay.
They were supposed to make a
Yeah.
certain
Oh, yeah,
payment.
It's 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they didn't make it. That's the crazy part. They didn't make the I don't know if it's the last payment, but it was a lot. It was the sum of money was a lot. I don't know. They didn't get enough
Oh, okay.
investors to sum up that money. I don't know what's the situation with the T-Wolves, but there were a lot of teams in the NBA, I would say since after the 2020 pandemic, when a lot of teams weren't sure
Yep.
how funny money, how funny the money was going to be coming off the pandemic. You got the
Yep.
Utah Jazz, they sold their teams. A lot of teams got
Hornets.
sold. A lot of teams got sold
Yep.
in that time frame. And you seen the Phoenix Suns, that guy come in, buy the team for $4 billion, even though it's not
Yep.
really worth that much, but
The Bucks ownership sold right after the championship. Part owner sold.
yeah, he was scared Giannis was gonna leave.
Yeah, so he sold. He said, "Yo,
Mark,
I got my ring. I'm leaving."
yeah, Mark Cuban sold. A lot of these guys that bought NBA teams for like 200 million, 300 million, 500 million, a lot of them
Yep.
sold. They cashed out on like the 2 to 3 billion.
Bro, the NBA, man, especially a shit team could be worth this much is crazy to me.
Yo, the teams are not worth that much. Right now, it seems like within the group of billionaires, they value sports teams a lot higher. I don't think it's because of the revenue. They value it because of the prestige.
They're like a toy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but the prestige is almost like you're a billionaire, but no one really knows you like that. But if you buy a team, they're gonna know you. They're gonna know your name.
Yeah.
It becomes a brand.
Like Tillman Fertitta. Tillman Fertitta did it for sure to increase his influence in Houston real estate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one time
That dude.
I went out to Galveston. My friend, they told me the hotel was I was inside one of his hotels. They told me for the Houston Rockets owner owned that hotel. I was like, oh, okay.
Kima Boardwalk is his. He's doing a lot, man. He's taking over a lot of Houston real estate. So I think it's their way of getting a foot in the city, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is what it is. But hey,
Man,
Syed, man, yo, definitely check out his newsletter below. I'm gonna link it in the description.
subscribe to Orange Cookies, man. One of the best YouTubers.
Yo, man, thank you, appreciate it.
Playoffs will be so fun.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah,
This whole
like
stretch, right now is gonna be pretty lit. The West is tight.
Yeah.
The East
Because now
is
we're
tight.
seeing how teams are figuring out. We're gonna see like how teams close because now it matters.
Mm-hmm.
Now it matters for every team to see how we close. Like for me, yesterday Cleveland, I questioned them a lot after seeing them lose against the Knicks without Brunson and Randall.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah,
it's
but
Mhm.
what I was gonna say, I'm gonna definitely continue up. I'm gonna take some of the notes off the cloud. I'm not sure if you want to keep the notes.
No, you can clean it all off, and then I'll always update once I see a cool clip or something I find fascinating, and we could build upon that.
Okay, bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll update it with new topics again. Yeah,
Yeah.
if a lot of things come up, I wouldn't mind linking up before the week's over again. This was
Dude,
good.
you know, the way the league moves, bro, we could do it every week at this point. I would love to do it. It keeps my mind fresh. Should I miss out, you pick up, or vice versa.
Yeah, definitely. Shit, man.
Take care, brother.
We'll link up
All right,
again.
man. Inshallah, we'll collab again soon, brother.
All right, no doubt.